What's the matter with you, man? Every time it's Christmas, you're always moaning. What are you moping about? No, I ain't moping about. I don't like Christmas. Get out, man. It's Christmas. Cheer up.
I never liked Christmas much. I always try to avoid it. That's why when everybody's hyping, I'm upstairs computer with a joystick, playing ball, trying to think of new songs, think of new beats when I vocal 2 songs. Whole family are cool, I got love for them. Think of them every time I do songs. My auntie brings me a plate of food and it brings back so many truths like Wayne Herman with Ruth. Somebody enlighten me here. I forgot about some of this stuff, to be fair. My dad says, son, how you been? I say good, but that's not how it's been. Even though I'm pursuing my dream. It's Christmas. It's Christmas time. Everybody eats food. Everybody drinks wine. It's Christmas. It's Christmas time. Auntie feels good and my nan feels fine. Christmas. It's Christmas time. Even though I wanna leave, I gotta spend time. It's Christmas. Once a year with the family. It's with them you're gonna spend your life.
What you call it, 2-step?
Leviathan is in the ring! The guardian of the gates of hell! Then we'll meet the younger brother of the Undertaker, Kane, in a one-on-one match made in hell at Christmas Chaos! Spade trying to get the Flash to safety! There comes Vito Andretti! The demon all over Vito Andretti! He grabs the demon, spared him out of his shoes! Turmoil! Championship belt, and he... What in God's name is no? Implant DD. What? They're going... A Russian leg sweep. Right now, Mark Henry, as he's done several weeks in a row. Michael's the backup. Wait a... Robbie Gay out of nowhere. Helping Casey. Something, but Jesus. What in the world's going on here, Dean? Oh, ring man. That bell. Ring something. Ring anything. Good God, Phair's nearly naked.
Okay. All right then. Oh, just press start recording. You're like. So, no why though? Pally breast sting.
That's right. Ohio Valley Wrestling, which do exist here. Why OVW? You were so interested in it before, and you paid someone euros for the TV. What was the impetus here? Why?
Well, 2 things. I've always sort of like known that this is like available just from jamming around on VK and stuff. It's like, oh, I could watch that one day. I will put it on big podcast list. And then I got the idea, oh, why not, like the Halloween episode, do a Christmas special episode? And this was the most enticing one. Lots of, it's a pretty well hidden TV product. I had to, as you say, pay a Belgian man €15 to buy these 8 episodes of television that we watched. So it's quite difficult to unearth. Not a lot of people have revisited it. There's a lot of mystery, a lot of curiosity, despite all these huge names like Batista, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Danny Basham.
Okay, Danny, got it.
Yeah, Danny.
Yeah. quite obscurity. I feel like I've always known OVW as just like an abstract,
Yeah.
where like it's just something you refer to.
Yeah, I would remember
like,
getting into wrestling my first year and going on WWE.com a lot. They would have a section that would be like OVW guys, and the website design was like, whoa, this is a really much cheaper website design than WWE.com.
Yeah.
And then occasionally you'd see, the new debutants, the vignettes, and be like, oh, I saw his face. He looked different, but I saw his face on the internet before he debuted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember like a similar thing with like SVW, where you'd go on like their cheap website and you'd have like the headshots and that's always the thing. Like it's such a popular thing of like two indie guys make it big. They made it at WrestleMania, and like someone makes a poster where it's like them in their fucking like Chikara photo shoot or whatever. That's what they do with like SVW guys a lot. Just like, Heath Slater when he wore like big sunglasses.
Yeah. The one I remember the most is like Carlito. I think he looked pretty different when he was like Carly Colon or whatever.
Oh sure, yeah.
But yeah, you would hear I would hear the occasional bit of hearsay about like how much a charismatic megastar in the making Rob Conway is. How Dinsmore could have been the next Benoit.
Dinsmore, so talented technically. Why are they giving him this gimmick when
wow,
he
look
so much more?
Look at that. Technical perfection. Oh, look at that. Look at him execute the technical moves technically.
Such a throwback. But yeah, I feel like it's something that it exists as this thing to refer to in such a way where you don't really have to like engage with the material of it. It can just exist as this like ideal that will inevitably be better than the thing you are actually engaging with, because like everyone watches the WWE, they can point at flaws and be like, why can't it be like Jim Cornette's Perfect Heaven of OVW? Which is it's my perception. I mean, like maybe I'm sure people who voted this fucking like best book promotion in 2001, whatever, they were watching it or whatever, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say actually. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But yeah, so you've also got the class of 2002, the only one missing from that. When people refer to that is Cena. He's not here yet. But
yes,
the rest. Right. I thought Randy Orton would be tearing it up. Brock Lesnar hitting SSPs every week or whatever. Every week. And then you got the probably unnecessary excursions of Mark Henry and the Big Show.
Yeah. Limitless potential, don't you think?
I think.
You mentioned there 8 episodes of TV. Why is this? It's because Christmas Chaos, right?
Christmas was cancelled.
Christmas was cancelled by a snowstorm in the Louisville area. No. And like, so specifically, I think it's like, obviously the big draw is that fucking WWF guys show up, right? And they're like, oh, there's a snowstorm, Stone Cold can't make the drive over. So, oopsie. So, yeah, like, then they reschedule it to January 31st. Still call it Christmas Chaos. Keep it as that. And Jim Cornette, he has a grand old time saying, "It's so nice. We promoted it twice, and it's the biggest show of 2 years, and all that's nonsense." So
he's coping. Stim cope wet.
So let's break down what like OVW operations are like. They tape television at what is termed the Davis Arena in Jeffersonville. It is like studio wrestling, much like you'd see in Memphis or in Jim Crockett Promotions. And you come to think of this as like an ideal of wrestling. It's hard to mess up. But
I've never seen that not be charming until today.
And so the Davis Arena, on the hard cam side, it has at least two sides of fans, and then behind the camera, sometimes you see it with like there's a brawl, is a concession stand with like a fucking checkered counter, which looks quite nice.
Yeah.
And then there's also like a big pillar of concrete that sometimes they bump you into, and that's nice. And then also like on the north side of the ring is giant billboard of ads and sponsors.
Be sure to check out Warner Brothers. A little startup business from the Kentucky area needs your support.
And you can also head up the bootleg barbecue.
Oh, hell yeah.
Eatings.
I need to pirate my meat. Whatever that means.
So, like rinky dink in the sort of way that you think like would be easy charm, as we were saying. And the commentators are usually Jim Cornette, who is also the matchmaker.
Who, sorry?
There's a bit of a conflict.
Who?
Skim Poorhead.
Oh, right, Skim Poorhead. Okay.
Yeah, and he's along there with Dean Hill, and this team is I don't know about you, I grew to like Dean Hill quite a bit.
Yeah,
Jimmy.
It's a slow burn with Dean Hill because Stim only lets him get a word in every fucking 10 minutes. He'll be like, "The," and Jim will be like, "Okay, now, motherfucker, I didn't say fucking read the fucking thesaurus. Shut up. My turn to talk now. I will talk in every available moment. My breath span is incredible. I never stop fucking talking."
And I kind of like noticed this when I heard him on like Shotgun Saturday Night when we were watching all that. It feels like he comes on too strong with like what he wants to convey to you. And like that's like one thing when he's getting across that he doesn't like how the light heavyweights are booked. It's another thing when he is the mastermind. It's almost like a branch of like Mystic, like how Mystic Gape was, where like Jim he knows exactly what this segment is supposed to convey. He's going to tell you, if like a guy is cowardly, then he'll be like, "Look at that guy! He ran off like a coward, like a yellow dog. You should hate him for that. Do you?" And so,
like he's penciled in, "Hate ensues."
Yeah, crowd boos here. The setup is sort of like, Dean Hill sort of has a Dave Brown thing of like being the ring announcer as well as a commentator, so he's there for that. But then, like when he tries to get like, I remember you saying something about like just the difference between when Jim interviews someone and Dean does, where like Dean is so much more of a wallflower compared to Jim, and so he would be like, "Oh, he's going for a chair. Fuck off!" And it's sad. It's sad. And yeah, speaking of interviewing, like that really is where it really comes across, because like one of the big stars we see is Flash Flanagan, who, the story is that he feels like he's been put down by OVW. He's been passed over. They're against him. And how do I know this? Well, it's because he gets interviewed, and Jim Cornette goes, Flash, I know you think OVW's against you, and you've been screwed over, and I'm sorry about that. We're not against you, we're trying to help you. And Flash, you've had this here, and you've got a match coming up, and I want to make that match, and we'll have it happen at Christmas Chaos, and then Jefferson, Louisville Guns Arena, and match day first, and and like, let the man talk.
Yeah, he wants to be the interviewer and the interviewee at the same time. So, Jim, what do you think about this shit? Oh, I don't know, Jim. Fucking.
So yeah, and that's just the content itself. Let's talk about the production. So OVW, it's not WWF. Okay,
no.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, we don't expect it to be.
That's an indie fucking operation. Fine, that's fine. But they're still bad.
There's a lot of things where it's like, you could have just picked up the phone and got something done better, because you have a privilege that other independent promotions performing to crowds of this size do not have.
Yes.
So you could make this a lot more watchable for the television.
A lot more watchable for television, a lot more watchable for maybe first time viewers. Because the thing I think of is to go back to Flash, as we'll expound on when we're going through all the stories. He has this thing where he was teaming up with the despicable BJ Payne, who turns on him, and he joins up with the Disciples of Sin, the evil Disciples of Sin, who then whip him. And usually, if let's use WWE as an example, they have an angle where Flash gets whipped by BJ Payne and Disciples and all that, and then next week it'd be like, oh, remember last week? Look at this disgusting footage, and we will explain what happens to you with narration that is coherent. But OVW, on the first episode that we watched, just comes back from commercial break with a total replay of that. So no narration, just Jim Cornette going, "Oh, look at this now, Flash! Oh my God, how humiliating! Oh, what a fucking, I got a boner!" All that stuff. And I have no idea who the fuck anyone is, because I've never seen it before in my life. And it just says last week on OVW. I guess so. It looks the same as this week.
Fucking, they're constantly just like, "Oh, remember this? And there was multiple segments where Leviathan beat up everyone, and I was getting them confused. I was like, wait, is this not from last week, or is this from this week? I don't fucking know what the hell's going on. And we must get to the most prevalent character in OVW. The fucking ring bell. The fucking Mr. Ding 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 fucking Ding. Every 90% of the matches end with a DQ or a schmoz or whatever, and ding 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 ding. Stop doing that, ding 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 ding. And then sometimes there'll be a DQ, and the timekeeper's not immediately doing that, and Jim will be like, "Somebody ring the damn bell!" And so this timekeeper, who I have to imagine has biceps the size of Big Popper pumps, but all natural, baby. Just oh, fucking hell. Ding, 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 fucking ding. Oh, my God. I've never seen so much ding in my life.
I'm sure there's one instance where, the bell is ringing and Jim just says, "Ring that bell!"
Yeah, that's it. Ring it.
Yeah. All these guys, they're very deferential towards the bell, as you can tell. So yeah, that's another unpleasant thing. The acoustics are fucked up that way. But there's also just a general thing of like them throwing to videos anyway, because big part of Christmas Chaos, as we said, is guys from the Fed showing up. So when around the second week of OVW TV is when suspiciously Jim Cornette is by himself in the studio, and there's no fans or wrestlers or nothing, and he's just there, and the Christmas Chaos is fine. It's on schedule. No snowstorm happened. Shut up. And that's when they play videos of like, Christmas Chaos at Louisville Gardens. Stone Cold is coming, and here's what Stone Cold's going to be like. And then they'll play like a fucking 7-minute fucking documentary about Stone Cold's life. Where
the documentary style narration, like Steve Austin is a star worldwide. When he turns up on the television show, people clamor to their sets to watch. Okay, I fucking know who he is.
You may think he's uncouth, but America's youth are liking the message.
It's like he died 50 years ago or something.
So, that already has a thing of you're spending more time explaining who Stone Cold is than you're explaining who fucking Flash Flanagan is and who he's facing on your TV. So there's that. But then also, it'll be a thing of let's see, so Chris Benoit, he's being brought in to face Nick Dinsmore, the future Eugene, for the OVW title. And they'll say, here is a sample of what Chris Benoit is like. And you're thinking, okay, this is going to really showcase off how much of a badass technical fucker Chris Benoit is. And I'm going to buy a ticket based off of this. And so they show Benoit versus The Rock from SmackDown. And it'll be like, Benoit puts Rock on the guardrail, and the camera shows Rock selling a lot because the storyline's about The Rock. And oh my god, here's Shane McMahon now. And then it cuts out.
Yeah, it'll be like a clipped match, and the commentary will be like, and Rikishi tried to interfere there. They cut out Rikishi. Rikishi a bit more major part of this than Benoit, maybe.
Yeah. Literally, this is why you can just do a music video. Because you can chop up here's Benoit doing moves.
And, if you're watching OVW, you fucking know who they are, right? you know who's watching OVW is sorry, Stone Cold, you say? That's a peculiar name. What's his whole deal?
I don't give a crap about Stone Cold. Bring in Mr. Black. So yeah, it's less than ideal, the OVW TV, because of these less than ideal circumstances. There's a lot of wrestling which kind of struggles to really feel good. Not all of it's bad, but a lot of it will just kind of be
there was never there was never a wrestler who was brother, this guy stinks. But it was usually just the presentation, and particularly the finishes. It was crawling through the Sahara Desert in search for a twisty. You're not going to find one over there.
Yeah. Jim Cornette.
I will never give you a little twisty.
Or, I will never give you a little twisty, you buggy tooth motherfucker. So yeah, I think one of the most disappointing things was for all the TV, I was thinking Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar are a tag team. This is Twisty Central. It should be impossible to not have Twisty.
And little asterisk, Brock Lesnar's had less than 20 matches, maybe less than 10. So, not the finished article or anything. He fucking sells for standard punches by guys who are 5'9". It's weird, and I hate it.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there fucking Shelton Benjamin does a spinning kick, and I lean forward my shoulder. Twisty.
And then ding 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 ding.
So, yeah, and then snowstorm happens, prevents us from our Christmas chaos on Christmas. Christmas gets cancelled. Then after that, there's 2 weeks of best of episodes where Jim is just in proper studio. Like before, he was just in front of an OVW backdrop, like he was doing propaganda. But these are times he's in this a nice cozy studio with tape machines and stuff, just showing us like stuff from the past. Like, oh, remember Nick Dinsmore versus the Damaja? Well, here it is, and
remember this? Yeah, one of his episodes is basically the best of Nick Dinsmore, and like he's all right. He's fucking all right. He's not worth like an entire episode. He doesn't have that much in his arsenal that makes him worthy of an entire episode of 45 minutes of TV.
And best of episodes. Further exposure to Nick Dinsmore only highlights how disconcerting his like choice of pose is, where he gets in the ring and like he like points diagonally, flex. Really weird. I don't like it.
So let's touch on someone who won't be on Christmas Chaos. David Rage Nelson.
I love David Rage Nelson. Did you know
he's a huge beefcake?
He was in Super Bowl. And Beefcake as well.
Yeah, he has a fun look, like the bodybuilder abs with the hand egg width to him. He may have had less than 20 matches. His nicknames were apparently the American Outlaw and Trucker. He appeared in episodes of American Gladiator and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Holy shit.
And we might have seen him get injured in that match against BJ Payne, because he didn't turn up after that, and I don't think he wrestled again.
Yeah, like it's odd, because I remember like when I was trying to research David Rage Nelson, I came across like the angle where he's signed to OVW like the previous year. So you'd think he's not just like job boy who disappears. You'd think it was a bit more than that.
Yeah, it was definitely jarring to see like BJ Payne. He's nothing special athletically, like physique wise or anything, but he's just going to fucking town on this massive fucking bodybuilder football man. It's like, oh, what's going on? What's going on here? Feels like Squimport Zet really struggles to book people who are just a bit different. Like, he's got Leviathan and Merkin, and that's one thing. But then, Lesnar selling too much. Ron Waterman, you get shown Ron Waterman murking a guy in like 28 seconds at UFC 20. He murks him. He's just right on him. He grounds him. A bunch of punches, and the referee calls it. Oh, what's he going to do in his pro wrestling debut then? Sell! Sell for a much smaller man. That's what he's going to fucking do. You can't be doing that.
Yeah. It's really quite something to see, like, the guy who so often has like been the critic of others be given the ball, and like he has these like holes in his like logic,
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like if he, he's booking these guys because WWE signs them and says go here, and they turn up on his doorstep. If it was up to him, everyone would be 5'9", bleach blonde hair, drop down fucking leapfrog. Everyone just does the same thing, I think. I don't think he's like...
The entire promotion of Tom Pritchard's.
I don't think he like respects like the eclecticism of wrestling and like all the different branches of it. I mean, we know that for sure now from, the way he speaks as a pundit of wrestling. If it's not in that one little niche that he actually cares for, then it's a bunch of shit.
Yeah. It's quite unfortunate. But hey, You know, if you feel negativity about Jim Cornette, then guess who you can consider yourself a friend of? Johnny Spade.
Oh yeah, Johnny Spade. Somehow,
Yep.
despite hating Jim Cornette, not endearing somehow.
Yeah, he starts out as like a job boy along with Randy Orton, who is a big job boy.
Yeah, Randy Orton is a huge job boy. That's a huge revelation from watching this.
Yeah, and so he loses the tag match, and then I think that very same episode he comes up to the commentary table, and he tells Jim Cornette, "You've been overlooking me for title opportunities for too long, so I quit." And Dean Hill is like, "Oh!" And fucking it annoyed me how Jim sells it, because Johnny walks off and Jim just goes, "Oh, everybody wants to be the matchmaker these days, and well, you can't have too many cooks and not enough. Well, anyway." And so then, Spade is no longer in OVW. Based on how it is later, I'm assuming, at a certain level, you're not contracted to OVW, you just, appear for our shots, and maybe that's what his deal was. Because now, he pays for TV time, comes on, and he wears a Fire Cornette shirt, says a lot of stuff, he, makes allusions to, politics, sort of political catchphrases of the time, and it's something, and then later on, he comes in, interrupts an interview, and Jim goes fucking beast mode. He goes nuts, takes off his fucking jacket, his glasses, he's gonna kick this guy's ass and threaten him with a gun and stuff. and Johnny Spade is like, "What's it gonna take to give me OVW contract?" And Jim says, "Maybe you could win a damn match once in your life." And it's like, oh,
got him.
There's all that. So then they schedule a match: Johnny Spade against a guy, and if he wins, he joins OVW. If he loses, he stops the darn TV ads, and it's Shelton Benjamin he goes against. And then this match is basically Shelton beating up this skinny, scrawny motherfucker. And you know what it feels like? It feels like this is the prelude to Jim Cornette versus Kevin Steen, where it's because I guess the OVW crowd they're into Johnny Spades, they find him funny or whatever, and I guess maybe this is what this is based off, where Jim Cornette is oh, he might think he's a smart ass or something, but he's shit. He sucks, and he's an asshole and a jerk, and I don't know. It just feels odd. And then Shelton is doing real good at beating up Johnny Spade. Who else could help him at this moment but Sylvester Terkay?
Yeah, the Dust Collector. Yeah,
the Collector.
Johnny Spade is a curious case, because I looked at his cage match page. From 1999 to 2011, he does almost exclusively OVW. He did a couple of TNA house shows and very little else, according to Cage Match. So, I don't know, he's just a stalwart there, I guess. Part of the furniture.
He does look like an OVW lifer. Just the look of him.
Yeah.
We were talking about how, what does WWE see in, this guy? Why is he in the developmental? So,
yeah, I think
Johnny's...
there must be, two separate types of deals. There's the actual developmental deal, and then there's just, handshake agreement come in at this, a normal indie.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Because I refuse to believe that Mr. Black has a developmental contract. I think he's just there to, help things tick.
Yeah, I'd say so. So Sylvester Terkay, the Collector, comes in and he murks Shelton Benjamin with some moves. And I do like the finish here, where Shelton's laid out And like the ref is laid out too, because of course the ref is laid out, right? And then Johnny Spade is put on top of him, and then as the ref slowly counts, both Dean and Jim are like yelling across the table, like, "Shelton, wake up! Shelton, no!" That was good.
It is a strange commentary dynamic between those two. That they just like, yes, Jim, I agree. Okay, motherfucker, you don't have to agree with me. That's okay. Like Dean Hill doesn't actually have anything different to say, even if he could get a word in.
So there's a reason for it why Collector decides to help Spade, because he was also screwed by Cornette, and by the way, his name is Sylvester. Actually, it's Sly Skraper, I guess. And so there's
just in being introduced to this guy with like 5 different names. He should have been like, oh, and also he was the Predator at 01. or he will be when 01 has its TV show in 2 months.
If there happens to be a promotion started by New Japan star Shinya Hashimoto, this guy, don't you worry about that. Anyway, so like they're cutting this promo the next week. Shelton Benjamin was wronged, and his partner Bork comes back from his out of town visit to be like, well, what about this, Jimmy? Can you book a tag match, please? And Jimmy's like, okay. So that's it. That sets up their little space on this. Very interesting to see like Sylvester Terkay here, because like I don't think I ever actually saw him in the Fed. As like Elijah Burks's backup. I think I've only ever seen like the Predator.
Oh, right, he had. Yeah, did he do actual stuff on main roster?
He was there.
ECW is that?
Titantron.
Right. Okay.
ECW and SmackDown, I'm sure.
Not my era.
Yeah, and so that's one match of Christmas Chaos spoken for. But what about the Disciples of Sin? What about these evil creatures who dine on death and sup of suffering? Well, let's get into it now. I think OVW is in fact a platform for Jim Cornette's the Sex Dungeon of the Mind.
Yes.
Because so you have this heel stable that's led by Jim Cornette's wife. His wife is Sin. She is the lady who carries around a Cat O' whip, and he books this angle where, as we said, Flash, he loses a match, he has to get tied up with handcuffs and then whipped. Well, Jim Cornette screams, "This is so demeaning!"
Yeah.
And
she tries to talk for this group a lot, and she is not handling the microphone well. I think at one point she says that, "Oh, Lita, you might be doing okay in there in the WFWF."
Oh no! Yeah. Very, very odd. She'll kind of stumble through a promo because it's her members of the group against the Hardy Boys and Lita. It's the big Fed match for the Louisville Gardens, and she will be like, "Oh, I'll show that Matt and Jeff something, and Lita, I will beat you up as well and show you hell." And then Jim Cornette talking to his old wife will be like, "You're an evil fucking bitch, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, and Jim is way too excited whenever she gets what's commentary. He's like, "Oh yeah, get that bitch."
Yeah, and then he throws to they then throw to like, "Oh, you want to know what the Hardy Boys look like? Here's much better wrestling that you could be watching."
yeah. They're like, Team Extreme versus TNA from one of the pay-per-views. Looks sick. They show a bit of Hardy's versus Edge and Christian from a random Raw. Sick. It's like, oh my god, I could just be watching this. Why am I not watching this?
Yeah.
And then just as you're getting into it, it would be like, hey, welcome back to OVW, motherfucker. Here's what else I have found.
Yeah. So, like, initially, the Disciples of Sin, Leviathan is part of it. But the main two are Damien and Slash, who are deranged demons indeed. But BG Payne joins. BG Payne was with Flash, but then he turned on him and joined with these satanic people. BG Payne also he does not become satanic. This is very important.
He's just a dude crowbarred into this group. Changes nothing about himself. He loves these slogan shirts, I imagine, that he found online or something, that will say, like, tell your mama I said thanks. Thanks for the fucky? Is that what is that what he insinuated about mama? And that one was in comic. Was that the one in Comic Sans font? Yeah.
I think so. It was, yeah.
What was the one he had before that? Oh, yeah, The Man, the Legend. That's a classic. Obviously, the legend bit points to his penis.
The penis of pain. So the whole deal is that Flash and Payne were the Sovereign Tag Team Champions. But then Payne turned on him, so they gotta figure out something to do here. And they do a last man standing match where whoever wins, they get to choose their new partner. And, BG Payne wins this through devious means, which we'll get to later on. And he comes out, and Dean Hill is there. He's like, who's gonna be your new partner? And BG Payne, as he always does, he goes, Dean Hill! When he starts the promo. And he says, my new partner, hit the music. And that's one of my favorite things about OVW, is that, so everyone uses, real songs, right? A lot of, rock and metal and stuff. And it's it's great on two levels to hit someone's music. Where, one, I don't know this person, I don't associate this song with them. And two, the song does not start with, it's not like the glass shattering. The song starts, and it's treated like it's like, whoa, So what happens is, he says, hit the music, Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit starts playing, and Dean Hill is just like, what?
For those?
And it turns out the safe of the Steers Limp Bizkit. So then the safe of the Sun come out. It's Sin and Damien come out, right? Damien shakes Payne's hand, takes the tag title, and Dean Hill is like, where's Slash? That's what I want to know. And Sin goes, well, look, Slash was a really evil person and cool, but the pigs caught up with him, so he's in jail.
And again, that is not a theme that fits them.
Oh yeah, no. Especially considering fucking was it? He was Godsmack for a music video later on. Why not come with the Godsmack?
Just use that.
So yeah, they're the team there, and another thing about BG Payne, he loves being called Daddy a lot. And it's not in just a one way, because when he's talking about breaking up with Flash, he regards Flash pathetically and be like, oh, Flash came up to me like, Daddy, can you be a good tag partner for me, please? And then that's one usage of it, right? But then when he's explaining who his tag partner is, now he's got the belts, he's like, I was down in the strip club, Dean Hill, And the strippers were like, Daddy, who's gonna be your partner?
I was there at the strip club, giving my daughter moral support. But yeah, that whole thing kind of gives me, sends the imagination going a bit too crazy about being in a hotel with Spim, Hornet, and Sin.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh, we're all thinking it, folks. We're all thinking it, okay? We've heard the rumours, you know.
Yeah. Jim Cornette and his, you better you better
cut me right now, motherfucker! Don't wash that stinky ass!
And then, so then from then on, BG Payne is no longer giving blowjobs. He's just Payne, right? And
he no longer receives pain while getting the blowjobs.
Exactly.
Oh!
And then he regards the Hardy Boys with contempt. And he says stuff like, "Oh, they don't know about how sin does human sacrifices." And then in that week, it's him and Damien versus the Minnesota Stretching Crew of Bork and Shelton, and it ends in a schmoz. But then Brock Lesnar powerbombs Sin, which is pretty cool. So yeah, Hardy Boys are on their way, and that Lita as well. Team Extreme will face up against their biggest challenge, not the Triangle Ladder, not the TLC, no, it's Sin.
I'd like to touch on one of these video packages for the Dinsmore Benoit, and it's a Benoit promo.
Absolutely.
Benoit just. It's so funny how shitty he is at promos. Oh, Nick Dinsmore, you say you're Mr. Wrestling? Oh, you must mean mud wrestling. Not what I do. I am Crippler.
I've heard someone's been running their mouth off. Fucking when he did his promo on the show, all I thought of was like, there's that one TikTok edit where it's like, it's Nardwar asking, "Who are you?" And then it goes to Benoit going, "The best technical wrestler in the world." So yeah, that's the Nick Dinsmore thing, the future Eugene.
Yeah.
At this point,
no gimmicks needed. Nick Dinsmore.
It's all about Mr. Wrestling Nick Dinsmore. That's what his T-shirt says. So he had quite a road here. In the past, he picked up victories at arena shows over Chris Candido and Al Snow, and the latter got him a developmental contract with WWE. And so this will be a big test for him. He's had many OVW title matches, and they're all okay, I guess. You know, like,
and he kind of looks like Justice Payne.
Yeah, Justice Payne. Justice Payne with like Bob Backlund's body.
Yeah, and his promos are kind of nondescript. The Eugene character was very powerful because now every time I hear his voice, I've seen a couple of his like recent YouTube videos as well. It's like. I think this man has a, developmental disability. and it might just be the gimmick, or I don't know. Would I think that if he never did that gimmick? Who's to say?
See, like, there's a bit in one of the matches that we see here where, like, he's struggling with submission, and he goes like, and I'm like, oh, that's Eugene.
Yeah.
So like I noticed down here in my Eugene section that one of my things about like the way they do like the video packages, like throwing to Benoit versus The Rock, it's just like it's the lack of control they have over the footage. if you're putting together a TV show like this, you should have control over what it's conveying. Like, it feels so disorienting to like have like, oh, Nick Dinsmore versus Slick Robbie D, and like, okay, I'm invested in this developmental storyline now, and then here's The Rock tense about his relationship with Rikishi. Like, it's so unfocused, you know. I can't take it.
Yeah, the editing of this television show is really bad.
Yeah. And you know, someone who has a run-in with Nick Dinsmore because he punches him and Jim Cornette the fuck out is Big Russ McCullough.
Yes! Yeah, he's a very big man, approaching 7 feet tall. He looks like a cross between Kevin Nash and Paul White, like, weirdly so.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just that he's tall, it's in the face as well, and the hair is the same colour as Nash's.
Oh yeah, he's very talkative, very sassy, and that, like, I think he may have a concussion at all times. So like,
could you be thinking about the football helmet promo? I was given this football helmet.
See, I'm not even thinking about that yet. I had noted down, like, you know, Dinsmore cuts a promo where he's like talking about Benoit and stuff, and Russ McCullough comes out and he goes, "Dinsmore, shut your whiny ass up."
Yeah, shut your whiny ass. The ass is whining, and I need to shut it.
And you know, then like a big thing about him is that he like name drops WF talent constantly.
Yeah.
So like he's already scheduled to face Damaja at Christmas Chaos, but he goes into the ring with Dinsmore, and it's like, I've already got Damaja at Christmas Chaos, and I got to beat up Stone Cold's ass too. It's like, oh man, I don't think you ran that by Stone Cold, brother.
Yeah, judging by what happens at the show, maybe not. And I like also when he says, Stone Cold, he's going to see what I'm cooking. It's like, dude, that's a different guy. He's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And then wasn't there that story that he's... he was saying, like, I'm way better than Taker and Kane or whatever.
Yeah, the reputation of him... Like,
and that got back to the Brothers of Destruction, and at that point, you're fucked. And then there was also that thing where he was at HWA, and he basically had a shoot fight with Rikishi, and Rikishi just sat on his ass.
Rikishi gave him brain damage. And so, you know, the promo you're referring to is a very impressive solo promo where he's in the ring with Dean Hill, and he's got his football helmet because he used to play on the New York Jets and stuff. And so Dean Hill, he sees this, and he like, you know, he goes, a very impressive, sir. So I don't know if the Invisible just having it, you know. He hasn't explained the context of it yet. And Russ, I think, agrees to me because he goes, "Shut up." And then he says, "I have the ability to waylace to this entire crappy federation. I'm a 6-year NFL vet. I played for Bill Parcells, and Bill gave me this football helmet."
Helmet.
And then here comes Damaja to say, "Hey, yo, let the midget speak for a minute."
Let the midget speak.
And so, yeah, it's a lot of sensory overload. He ends up inflicting havoc with his football helmet by using it illegally to beat people up, including Damaja. On the go home for this angle, he faces Brian Kick, who is a very jolly job boy who I think should have been used way more because he looks fucking epic.
Yeah, he's got that kind of like Otis type physique where
Exactly.
where the neck is so thick that his head looks like a big toe.
Yeah. And so Russ comes out for this Brian Kick squash match. Brian Kick is wearing an Austin t-shirt, and he's like literally going to come like, ooh, look at my shirt. And Russ sees red and murks him for it, and Jim Cornette is like, he's a fucking idiot. But then, oh my god, the Damaja, Danny Basham comes out and wears the helmet and headbutts Russ in his head. And oh man, I'm so excited for their match at Christmas Chaos. What I'm also excited for is fucking, we made some reference to it. The shoot fight.
Shoot fight.
So, Ron Waterman, the H2O Waterman, is of UFC fame. He's in the UFC video game.
Oh, yeah.
For PlayStation and Dreamcast. And, he gets signed to a developmental deal. He's probably already done some, dark matches on Raw and stuff. But here he is in OVW. And he comes across Rob Conway. Now, Rob Conway is like... Rob Conway feels like they're, peak WWE developmental wrestler of, the 2000s. If you built a WWE developmental wrestler from the ground up, it'd be Rob Conway. The someone who is exceedingly mid. And we find him here in the times before he gets called up to be in La Resistance. Instead, he's the Iron Man, uses the thong, and as we join OVW, he is in Bolin Services, the big heel stable ran by Kenny Bolin, the
greatest
manager.
stable of all time.
Oh, I disagree with that sentiment.
It lasted for 8 years, and it had 8 trillion members.
Yeah, and so there are tensions within Bolin Services here. Rob Conway and Mr. Black, they are at odds, and they make this match. Rob Conway versus Mr. Black. Loser leaves BS. And Bolin is like, no, this will not be happening. But then Jim Cornette has the trump card. A special referee, Trailer Park Trash. Yeah,
and Trailer Park Trash, he's got obviously a guy that comes sort of in Luke Harper attire with the dirty jeans, dirty vest. He's just got 2 black lines drawn on in marker, which is very nice.
Yeah.
One of the few times where I just had to hold it up to them and be like, very, very nice stuff, guys.
Yeah. And so Rob Conway loses that, and he leaves Bolin Services thusly. So now, without anything to do, he, will come to the commentary booth and be like, Jeremy Cornette, what are you doing? Not having TV time for the Iron Man, Rob Conway. And Jim Cornette will be like, okay, well, fuck off. We're watching Ron Waterman right now. Fuck off and sit down, shut up and die. And then Ron Waterman comes out. I think this will be his second match because the debut is where he sells. He sells, and it makes no sense at all. But here, in this match, he works the guy quickly with a leg hook. And then Rob Conway immediately comes in, and it's like, fucking, okay, man, I am unimpressed with you. We all know about your video game, Ron, but what if you got a real challenge from me, Iron Man Rob Conway? And Ron Waterman is like, okay. And so the next week, we think that the Davis Arena will lay witness to the epic battle of Rob versus Ron. But in fact, no. Rob ambushes him, throws him into a pillar, and then Pillmanizes his elbow. And then Ron Waterman is a broken man. And Rob Conway says, they don't teach you that in Ultimate Fighting, do they? And I guess they don't. Then, this may be one of, the utmost examples of, fucking Jim Cornette info dumping. Because, Ron Waterman, they come back from break. Ron Waterman is nursing his arm with officials around. And, they just start talking oh, that arm will take about 10 days to heal. I will give you a Christmas Chaos match against Rob Conway, and it can be any rules you choose. I choose submission rules, UFC rules. Okay, that's fine. Submission rules is or surrender, that's fine. It just feels so fucking perfunctory almost, you know? Like we're just getting through it.
Yeah, but at least at Christmas Chaos, they're going to go rings mode, right? We'll have to wait and see.
It's true. It's true. We shall see. And then let's see. What else is on here? What else is on this show?
Speaking of epic heels, Jim Cornette, he owns this place. He books this place in and out of kayfabe. But for some reason, amongst his employees is the epic, dastardly heel referee, Phair.
Phair! We love
Why
him.
is he employed? He's up to no good. He is not wrestler. He is not even manager. He puts on the referee shirt and fucks it all up.
Yeah.
I guess Jim is like, well, I don't like the way you do it, but I gotta hand it to you, motherfucker. You make the ding, 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 ding happen.
So, it's very interesting because, Phair's storyline doesn't get introduced until, it must be introduced in something before we start watching, but only gets, recapped on the actual show itself when Jim's doing interstitials. So, Phair, he was
I think it happens on the first episode. It's after that Minnesota stretching crew match where the Suicide Blondes almost pull his Parker out.
No. I mean, they explained that the Suicide Blondes were trying to get. So Phair was a man of decadence who liked to go to strip clubs, and the Suicide Blondes were trying to get away from that.
Like his actual backstory is art.
Yes,
right.
Yes, and it's Sean Casey and Chris Michaels, who are like, hey, we will give you beer and hookers and stuff, and Phair is like, yeah, I love it. And this constitutes the feud between them and the Suicide Blondes, who are Jason Lee, Derrick King, and Rip Rogers. And what we actually see on TV of a storyline is decidedly more base, where it starts off with the Suicide Blondes taking Phair and undressing him to humiliate him, and Rip Rogers, he undoes his pants and very nearly just fucking fully removes his garments, and then he's like, oh shit, pulls his underwear up.
Let me just adjust that for you. There we go. You practically patted him on the knob. It's like
the Phair phallus. Meanwhile, Sean Casey and Chris Michaels, they love Phair and want revenge for this. So Jason Lee, he defeats Sean Casey, but the last laugh is held with Fairgoon because afterwards they beat up Jason Lee, and then Phair takes down his trousers and then grinds his asshole into Jason Lee's face.
Yeah, it's not the Rikishi stink face where it's like a circular motion. He just is like, right, nose in crack, up down, up down, up down. It's actually way more fucked up than Rikishi.
Absolutely, yeah. It looks so much more perverted. But that's what a lot of OVW is perversion. So then from there is a further thing to this, because you see Phair is blonde, and he takes issue with the Suicide Blondes' whole thing of being blondes. The thing is set for Christmas Chaos. It's Phair, Shawn Michaels versus the Suicide Blondes in a six-man. If the Suicide Blondes win, then Phair has to kiss all of their butts, and their butts are really icky and gross and unwashed, right? But if Fairgoon wins, then the Suicide Blondes must be shaved. And Phair comes close to doing this with Derrick King one week. He gets stopped, but he takes a lock that he got, right? He goes to the University of Kentucky. And, at hearing this, Dean Hill is like, oh, so I don't know, maybe Kentucky's like disreputable as a university. I don't know, but he says, "Oh, I had test done on it, and Derrick King, you're actually a redhead. You're not real blonde. You just put it on. But hey, after Christmas Chaos, they'll all have the same hair color, flesh." So, yeah, very inscrutable storyline, but I was looking forward to seeing them come up and see her on Christmas Chaos, weren't you?
Oh yeah, Phil Phair, what a textbook bad guy. When I think of coward and I decide to look up that word in dictionary, I will see Phil Phair.
Absolutely. And I need to see him just like get his lips into Rip Rogers' fucking disgusting hairy anus right now. But anyway, enough about anus. We must move on to another giant thing. The Battle of the Giants. Because fucking Mark Henry and the Big Show are down here for some reason, even though they don't deserve it.
Yeah, it's so beneath them.
Like, it gets so ridiculous when Jim is like, he's a former WWF champion. Why is he here? There's no reason for it. But yeah, Mark Henry and the Big Show are here to lose weight and stuff. And like I told you, it's so ridiculous.
Big Show was lose weight, right? That's the official given reason. But then he comes back and he's fat and he's awesome, but he's fat and he gets his best push when he's fat and he delivers his best work when he's fat. So what the fuck? And then Mark Henry was it like attitude or something? Or just to get better in the ring.
That seems to be it.
I think it's improvement, which he's not going to do. He's only going to learn how to work small rooms. It's just not going to help you in the Fed.
Yeah. Since Mark stays around for a lot longer, like he has like his runs on the main roster, but it's really in like 2006 that he like is fully out of OVW, which feels crazy, just crazy. But yeah, they are feuding. Are these two giants? Mark Henry still has the sexual chocolate gear. He's still sexual chocolate, but he has like the hairstyle that you come to associate with like World's Strongest Man Mark Henry on like SmackDown, which is very odd. So he's part of Bolin Services. Rob Conway, when he's like having tensions with Mr. Black, he's like, hey Bolin, you should kick Mr. Black and Mark Henry out because they're fat and eating too many donuts. If you fire them, you will save much on grocery bills. And that's not a helpful mindset to have when it comes to Bolin Services. So I'm glad that he left. And then we have Big Show here, and just like it's crazy to see like Big Show work a studio wrestling match in his WrestleMania 2000 attire. Like the sheer breadth of which this pair of trunks has seen, is crazy. And there's some clips of like, oh, Mark Henry suplexed the Big Show. Oh, that's so bad. But then the big angle comes when they say, oh, the Big Show got run over by a truck. Holy shit.
What?
Luckily, a fan was recording footage. And it comes to this fan cam where it's Shelton Benjamin and another guy. And this girl is like, hey Shelton, I saw you wrestle. It's like, you did? She goes, can you give a shout out to my nephew Brian? He's turning 12 next week. And he's like, hi Brian. And then he turns around, oh my god, what's that? And then what did we hear? That's the sound of a truck hitting the Big Show. and he'll do it again. Oh no! Oh, stop it!
Don't you hate when you meet one of your heroes and he's just like, somebody help the Big Show?
Yeah, like this young fan is just holding the camcorder, probably traumatized because she's seen vehicular homicide attempted, just holding it, and Shelton's like, "Get the fuck out, bro! Fuck off!" and yeah, like I said to you earlier, fucking, it's so funny that like the Big Show's just around. He's 7 foot tall, 500 pounds, just out of shot, and this lady's like, "Hey, Shelton Benjamin," you know. But yeah, he suffered broken ribs, anal bleeding, all that stuff. But he pledges to make it to Christmas Chaos, and he even makes it back to TV where he,
it doesn't.
Henry is.
I was struggling to see the point in the angle when it didn't really seem to keep him out for anything. Did he miss anything?
No.
He probably went to his fucking dentist appointment the next day. He was fucking fine. Yeah. I mean, when you're the Big Show, getting hit by a truck is like stubbing your toe, I guess.
It does sound like it, doesn't it?
But like he feels very depressed in OVW.
Oh yeah.
There's that one match that he has with the slick man himself, who's incredibly slick, by the way, Robbie D.
Yep.
And he mocks the Big Show by singing, "Well, it's the Big Slow." Oh, like the internet in the 2010s.
Yeah.
And, I was expecting Big Show ain't gonna be happy. He ain't gonna take that lightly. But he just kind of just walks out. He's like, "Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yeah.
Getting in the ring now. Hello, Robbie D. Yes, I heard your song." He's not pumped.
It's so sad.
Why is he here?
Why did he treat him like this, man? Fuck. Yeah, there's a week where Mark Henry murks Nick Dinsmore via DQ. He murks him DQLE, as I say. But then Big Show comes out to make the save in giant jacket, pants, and white shoe. And he's like, it's a weird promo. He's like selling the ribs, and he's also like, "Oh, come Christmas Chaos, I'm gonna be on you like white on rice." And then he fits in like 3 synonyms for that idiom. It's very weird, but the crowd clap at it. So there's that. And then Jim notes that at Crimbo Chaos, WWF decision makers will be in attendance. So this is a big match for both guys. Basically, maybe they'll let him back on the roster, which is a fucked up stipulation to add. Another person who, we'll see in TV sooner than later is Rico. What do you think about Rico here? You've seen the Reek man here.
Yeah, he's solid. Obviously, the presentation is very different. There's no allusions to him being gay, just what I'm really used to of him.
Yeah.
If Rikishi went to give Rico Constantino a stink face, he'd probably be like, "Oh no, do not do that. I would not like this to happen." Rather than applying the chapstick.
Yeah. He has an A3 character arc here because we see him come back from a big injury to his knee, and that was caused by Flash. And the deal is that we mentioned before how Flash and Kane have the last man standing match to decide the tag titles. How does Flash lose that? She gets murked by Rico, and everyone's like, "What? Rico Constantino, we loved you. Why do you do this?" And he says to Jim Cornette and all that, "Oh, Flash hurt me and put me out for many months with the knee. And what do you people do? You cheer him? Well, you know what? I don't give a crap what you are or what the fans are." And so, Jim Cornette, obviously talks out loud "The fans are very disappointed in you" and stuff. And he's like, "I don't give a crap." And then he leaves and stuff. And so now, as a heel, he has this big old fucking knee brace, and he like will use it dishonorably to like leg drop Nick Dinsmore, and it's funny because like he sort of like allied himself with Bolin Services, but not officially, because he will beat up people alongside them, but then be like, oh, why would I be in there? I'm not with them. And then Bolin will be like, hey, look, I have this gold WWF medallion for you. It's worth $25,000. And, that kind of helps with some favor. And this kind of works its way into the Flash storyline, where like Flash, now that he had his blow off of pain, and now the whole thing is getting revenge on Rico and by extension Bolin Services. So they have this tag, which is Rico and Mr. Black versus Flash and Damaja. It has an incredible opening. I don't know if you recall it, where Rico and Black are in the ring. Flash and Damaja run out and start chasing Rico around. Three of them running, and Mr. Black just kind of waddling about, and he looks like he is like a planet surrounded by satellites. It's quite incredible. Here is where we see Russ disrupts with his gelmet, because he murks Damaja, and that leaves Flash to be pinned. So now the whole thing is Flash. Oh, he still feels so oppressed by Jim Cornette. So Jim is like, what can I do to make you think I'm not fucking you up? And Flash is like, let me have any partner I want against Rico and Mr. Black. And Jim is like, okay, it could be someone who's not an OVW. And he holds him to it. And who is it? It's Trailer Park Trash. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was so confused when they were like, yeah, this guy is not in OVW. He's been on all the episodes.
Yeah, the deal is that like he lost to, I think, Mr. Black in a loser leaves OVW match. But then he shows up as a referee in a referee capacity. And then like 2 weeks later he's back as a wrestler due to the legal stylings of Flash Flanagan.
Oh yeah, I guess one of the things that we saw him in was a clipped highlight of another special event. Where he had a very twisty match actually with Flash Flanagan. We'll get to that later.
Absolutely, that's where they find respect for each other.
Yeah,
so,
but I think my overriding memory of OVW Rico will be it's this alternate universe where he gets to unleash a house of fire on Leviathan. And he gets to tap Randy Orton to a Cobra Clutch or whatever it was. It's like, whoa! This is crazy to see.
Yeah. Very, very interesting to see him. Like it's similar, but quite different as well in many ways. So yeah, that should be all of the storylines of notes that OVW has.
Yeah. All right then. Let's go. Twisty listy. This should be quick.
Yeah.
Twisty listy.
You never got to stop me doing it. I've been wrestling all my life. At the end of the day, you should pick people on talent, not because they give you a little twisty.
Okay. Twisty. Okay, so we were thinking here, this might be the first Twisty-less episode ever, because if you were tuned into our streams, we weren't having a good time watching OVW TV. Okay.
No, we were coming up with rhyming words for, like, Jim Chore sweat. Rim courgette.
Yeah. So, like, I remember initially I had, like, one Twisty, and it was from something that wasn't even in the fucking time frame.
Yeah.
Going over it again, I found myself being a bit more charitable. So I have a couple twisties here, which I'll go through. First of all, the aforementioned match, Flash Flanagan versus Trailer Park Trash from the Rock and Rumble, which was 23rd of June 2000. This match was it was such a breath of fresh air. When it came to
and it's clipped.
OVW, just because
it's clipped, but it doesn't really matter.
No, yeah, because basically what it is like in a sea of like sort of milquetoast wrestling that kind of like just like goes on and on. This was just like fucking like unabashed plunder, you know.
Should be in CZW or the Airwams or something.
Yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely taken from that, which is it's very funny, as we noted, when you think about how much Jim Cornette goes on to oppose like hardcore deathmatch stuff. When,
and I speculated that part of it is just because they put on more fun products than he does.
Yeah,
people are buying Best of the Best and Cage of Death instead of his shows.
Yeah, why are you not buying Rock and Rumble? So yeah, it's a plunder match with like big ladder and just a bunch of shit thrown around. They like do the thing where they sandwich a like door between the guardrail and the apron, and just like fucking throw some shit, throw the guy through there. And it was really fun in a way that like most other stuff wasn't. So that was a twisty. Yeah. I'm also giving a twisty to some matches, 2 matches from the January 6th episode. First,
Jan 6.
Rob Conway versus Mr. Black.
Right. What happened in that one? I can't remember.
That was the Loser Leaves Bolin Services match, refereed by Trailer Park Trash.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes, so this was also a match.
The funny crossbody.
The funny crossbody. So, is it Mr. Black who goes for the crossbody? Was it Rob Conway? I forget.
Yeah, Mr. Black is in the chair, and Rob Conway goes for the crossbody. He gives himself maybe like a 30-centimeter run up, and just does a standing crossbody. And obviously Mr. Black's quite large, so he doesn't go toppling right over. So they just sort of like bumblefuck over to the side. It's really funny. Yeah, really funny.
The chair bends very hilariously. So that's pretty great. Twisty. and the finish is good as well, because Trailer Park Trash as the referee means Rob Conway takes issue with him, and then Trailer Park Trash just gives him a DDT and then fast counts him. And then that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I was considering for that one, but I didn't give it in the end. Oh well.
Wow. Perhaps you were considering this one, Nick Dinsmore versus Slick Robbie D.
And now Nick Dinsmore with the big boot and the punch. And now Nick Dinsmore punching. And now Nick Dinsmore another punch. And now Nick Dinsmore, fuck my wife. Jim really loves Nick Dinsmore so much. Look at him. Look at what he's doing. Look at that.
A throwback to the tentacle wrestler who can wrestle all challenger styles. But yeah, he has a nice showcase here against Slick Robbie D, who is very slick.
He is slick. He's really slick. Yeah, I think he's good. I don't know why he didn't get a call up at some point.
Yeah, me too. I think the thing that really decided it was Nick Dinsmore has the German suplex as finisher, and I think there was a really hot sort of teasing out of the finish where I think it's Robbie just flips out of it and lands on his feet, and I was like, oh shit, and then he immediately gets German suplex, which is a nice little finish. Then the next week, January 13th, I have Mark Henry versus Randy Orton as a twisty, which it's not as good as their eventual work on the main roster on 2011 SmackDown, which is legendary. But I think both are pretty good. It's interesting to see Orton. We'll get into it later on when he's having the match in the show. But there's definitely a whole lot of him there. But he's still figuring so much stuff out as well.
Yeah, I remember seeing clips of it. We didn't see it in this, but I remember seeing clips of him doing the Paul London drop salt and stuff. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, yeah, and Mark Henry, good wrestler.
Yeah,
definitely not bad enough to be put down in OVW as punishment.
No,
And then there's also a rookie referee, Donna Deering.
Oh.
Yeah,
why do they have a sexy ref?
So Phil Phair, even with all his grinding, still wears formal dress of slacks and ref shirt. Meanwhile, this Donna Deering character, she fucking wears bloomers and a big cleavage bra. What's with that, Slim Corvette?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. And then Mark Henry accounts for the next entry on the Twisty, which is 25th January, him versus Nick Dinsmore.
Yeah, I was close on this one, but they just fucking dinged it. And I was like, I'm so fucking sick of your ding.
Well, look, so many matches have varied the ding, but this is one of the few that backs up that wonderful sound with nice strikes.
Sure.
Really,
yeah.
Mark wallops the Nick Dinsmore here, and he throws him into the air, and he falls down, and it's like, oh man, what a capable big man who should be on Raw instead of here. I also had to give ups to Johnny Spade versus Shelton Benjamin, as I mentioned, a hilarious finish, which you gotta hand it to. And then also to Russ McCullough versus Brian Kick, which I don't think it was even a match where the belt rang, but I'm putting it here anyway because it's very short list.
Yeah. All right.
And now you, Twisty.
Okay, now it's time for my TV Twisty Listy.
Little Twisty.
BJ Payne, this is Flash Flanagan, and Trailer Park Trash, this is Flash Flanagan. And that was my TV Twisty Listy.
Man, Twisty.
Yeah, you mentioned the Trailer Park Trash one, but I don't think you had the BJ Payne one. That was also like a nice brawl, lots of plunder. They pulled out a door like GCW.
GCW, yeah.
Which is strange. Neither of these were both of these were on best of episodes. So there was that one, Trailer Park Trash was from the Rock and Rumble. And then I think I struggled to find, because Flash won this, I think, this match. Possibly.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I struggled to find, Flash Flanagan defeats BJ Payne in a hardcore match or some such.
Oh, yeah, all the Davis Arena stuff, your best bet is Wrestling Data, I found.
Yeah, I looked on both. I looked on Wrestling Data as well.
Oh, okay. Right.
It might be from August, but I don't know, to be honest. But it doesn't really... You'll find both matches on the 23rd of December episode of OVW TV. So there you go. And I'll probably upload them to VK in the next few weeks.
And then you will put in the description, do not watch
this. Stay clear. All right, top 10 wrestlers?
Top 10 wrestlers, let's do it. My number 10, David Rage Nelson. Love this guy. He's from the Super Bowl. He's got a great look, and my affection for him is bolstered by my indignation at Jim Cornette's booking of him as job boy to BJ Payne, which I think is improper.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Mr. Black. What a funny guy to have in a promotion. Just like a big fat dude wearing suits. Yeah. Just lumbering around, It's ideal wrestler.
Yeah, I feel when we saw the Big Show depressed, it could be because he, is getting ready in the locker room and he looks across from him and it's Mr. Black. It's like, why am I here? But, bless up to him all the same. There's no insult to him, but what the fuck is he doing here with Mark Henry and Brock Lesnar?
He is interminable in his way.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Black. And so too is number 8, Russ McCullough, my concussed king, who is... He's just so fun to watch, and I quite like his powerbomb, which is a fall away variation of it. They should have let him cook more.
They should have let him disrespect all the vets.
And then number 7 is Flash Flanagan.
Yeah.
You come to see him as like one of the semblances of like a top face for OVW, and he's you grow to love the guy in his own way. I like Flash Flanagan. Accounts for many twisties and stuff. Number 6, The Big Show. Depressed, broken ribs, dying. Big Show. Still good. It just makes it like sadder to see him here, but good times are ahead for the Big Show. So all good. Number 6. Number 5, Brian Kick. Brian Kick, a late addition. He has like 2 matches. One of them is an angle, and the other one he just kind of like it's a doofus who gets killed. But he looks so cool, and they should have used him more. He has like, I think like 7 matches on Cage Match.
Yeah,
you miss a guy like Brian Kick up, man. Come on, why'd you let him go to? And so then number 4, Schluck Robbie D. As I said, he like has a lot of flashes of like just really dynamic stuff. He has a charming personality too. Like him singing the Big Show's theme, except it's big slow, as you mentioned. You listen to that and you think, ha ha ha. Very nice. A sensible chuckle for Robbie D. And yeah, I'm quite surprised that we didn't see more of him like in more prominent roles. Number 3, Chris Benoit. Because, I've seen enough like fall SmackDown footage on this TV to be like, damn, Chris Benoit's pretty cool. So that's that on that.
Yeah.
Number 2, Mark Henry. Really likes Mark Henry here. Again, like it feels inscrutable that he should be down here, but since he is down here, I will enjoy his great big man offense. And number 1, finally, the heart and soul of Ohio Valley Wrestling, Trailer Park Trash.
Yeah.
Gotta love Trailer Park Trash.
Lovely stuff.
And now you.
Alright then. Time for my top 10 wrestler listy. Okay, so we're at number 10. I have gone for the Minnesota Stretching Crew. I wish they could have given us a twisty match with these 2 fucking athletic specimens. It seems so hard to fuck up, and yet here we are. But it doesn't really feel like the fault of the wrestlers, and it is still interesting to see them at this time. Brock, like I said earlier, he's probably had less than 20 matches. Shelton's really fucking good as well. He gets superb height on his leaps. They're pretty fun to watch. It's just that fucking booking, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then at number 9, I've gone with Mark Henry. I feel like he's probably having a bit more fun and maybe slightly more substantial stuff than his cellmate, the Big Show.
Yeah.
Almost got a Dinsmore twisty for me, but for the ding, 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 ding. Number 8, Team Extreme. I fucking loved watching those matches with Edge and Christian and T and A.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Prime Jeff, Lita doing all these wild dives onto dudes. It's so much fun. A glimpse of what I could have been enjoying if I wasn't in Stimland. And then number 7, Robbie D. Slick Robbie D at that. This motherfucker's so slick, man. I sense a future WWF champion here.
I don't know why he wasn't.
Yeah. And then number 6, got Brian Keck. He's Brian Keck. I sense a future WWF champion here. Number 5 is Trailer Park Trash. I really appreciated his song by Hank Williams Jr. It said, it starts with, the line, I got ketchup on my blue jeans, and I just burned my hand. It's like, all right, dude. You're having a Sunday, aren't you? And I sense a future WWF champion here. Number 4, Big Russ McCullough, the master of the Jelmet. I sense a future WWF champion here. Number 3, Dean Hill. This guy is this guy is literally a Labradoodle dog that just woke up as a human one day, and he went off to work at Ohio Valley Wrestling. I sense the future WWF champion here. Number 2, Chris Benoit. That rock match looked pretty sick. I love when he does the diving headbutt. I sense a future committer of Familicide here. And then number 1, Flash Flanagan. He was in both of my twisties, so it kind of had to be him. It took me a while to realize that was the guy who I've seen like have twisty matches in Puerto Rico with like Vampiro and shit. Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. Chris Benoit will never win the WWE title.
Not if Dean Hill has anything to do with it.
So yeah, there we have it.
And while I made this top 10, it made me realise that, you know what, if OVW deserves one, we never did one for XPW, so I'm doing one right now without any explanations. From worst to best, Lizzie Borden, Evan Courageous, Fantastico, Angel Das Hardcore Homo, Chris Hamrick, Crimson, Supreme, Vic Grimes, Terry Funk, Chris Kloss. There you go. Shoutouts to Rob Black.
That's right. We never did a twisty list, so we never did a top 10. Fuck, that's right.
They didn't get any twisties, but you agree wholeheartedly with the list.
Sure, I do. Lizzie Borden 10. It's an interesting one, but I agree entirely.
All right, so there we go. That's all the TV that we need to talk about.
Yes, and now it is time to put our tape in for the video release of Christmas Chaos. It's back to the studio. Oh, that's right, the intro. Where it's fucking going nuts with like a guy does an inverted suplex and we zoom in on that and there's a fuel with like faces and stuff. And then it goes... Yeah, Jim Cornette's guitar solo. And then, then it goes to Jim in the studio, and it's interesting how this is framed because like this is like a retrospective thing, you know? It's not like he's saying like, let's go now to Christmas Chaos. He's like, this happened.
Yeah.
And then let's watch it again.
This is occurring from the past. Welcome to my little television room.
My dungeon.
And what's immediately like noticeable that after all that fucking TV that we watched building to this big show, that the version of this show that we watched is in a way shittier quality than the TV. Which is, you know, the joys and surprises of piracy. So it's good.
Yeah. You take what you can get. So we start off with they throw to a clip of OVW's own Angela Batista singing the Star Spangled Banner. And she does so in
USA.
Yeah. Quite a stirring manner. And,
yeah. It made me proud to be an American citizen. Say, can you see I'm covered in pee? I totally reek because I pissed my pants in the land of the pea and the home of the gape.
As Angela Batista rounds out that stirring number, you can catch sight of Dean Hill on the outside wearing a bow tie. I love it.
Oh, they put a little bow tie on a Labradoodle. Oh, he think he human.
So we start off with smooth Johnny Spade and Sly Skraper versus the Minnesota Stretching Crew. Johnny Spade comes out. He now has gear. He looks more refined now. Now he appears to be a CCW mid-carder instead of just a guy.
Yeah.
And the smooth part is that he will do jigs to the crowd. And Jim hates it, but they love it. So this match...
It's tough to tell whether it was just like the crap quality of the file, but I think this is filmed and like lit like shit too. Like OVW TV does have a hard cam. They don't here. It's all reliant on one guy catching everything, and you can't.
Yeah, it's handheld. Yeah.
At first, when they do the entrances, you can see that it's like, oh, okay, you know. And during the national anthem as well, you could see, all right, that's a good turnout for OVW. But then the match starts, and you can't see a single fan. It's just black around the ring.
This is true. That being said, I did like how it was shot. I liked the lighting because something I noticed here, looking at like Skraper, Sylvester Terkay, because Skraper's such a stupid name. Let's go with Sylvester Terkay. Sylvester Terkay looks like a fucking like insane human being in this sort of lighting. Like you know, like it's all shadowy, so it's the sort of thing that like you think of in like a boxing movie or something like that, you know, something that like really brings out like the muscles of like a fucking freak. Where it's like, you know, it is at this expensive like the fans, but I do think it works for stuff like that, just like shooting like a huge big guy.
Yeah. The lighting is one thing, but I definitely think like these are events that you're actually trying to sell. You want people to buy these VHSs. So I think you need probably a hard cam and at least two guys with handhelds, and you flick between who's got the best shot.
Yeah, that is true.
And you
like,
work with Prime WWF, so just make the fucking phone call and it will probably happen. I just don't understand what the fuck.
Like, anytime there is an entrance, it's like, it just like swivels around to a sea of people, and then a minute later, like, oh, there's that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a Skraper comes in, and he pretty immediately gets busted up by like Shelton doing the Trouble in Paradise to his eye. And so that's the thing that's just around for the rest of the match. Johnny Spade comes back in, he tries pinning Bork. Bork launches him and then nips up and stims with his singlet straps, which he's very apt to do. And then like a cool touch for gamers, I think, is that Bork goes outside to brawl with Sly. There's Sly, because he's cut open, he does what I can only describe as like in an M. Dickey game when like you're working hurt and you like shuffle around while struggling. And then, you know, Sly and Spade get the advantage. They do the what's up.
Yeah, what the fuck is with that? And don't they feel like such an odd team as well? An odd pairing?
An odd couple, definitely.
Like Stim was probably given Stim Cornette, that is. He was probably given you know, find something for Sylvester Terkay. He's like, you know, it just feels like plucked out of a hat.
Yeah. It's very likely. They do have a good double team where like Sly gets him in a wheelbarrow and then like just like fucking throws him on a dude. You know, Spade he's showing some stuff here, but he's got a hot dog. He's got a hot dog and dance and all this stuff. And Jim hates it. He should die. Die! Johnny Spade, die! And then like there's a big double crossbody by Benjamin that leads to a Bork hot tag. He slams Skraper, and Sly he tries larger than both, but then they do a move to him that Jim says is the double rock bottom, which is hilarious. And then the pin for that is broken up by Johnny Spade doing a fucking driving leg drop off the top. Oh my god. And then Shelton, he super kick Sylvester. He tries taking care of Spade in a similar way, but he gets eye poked. Spade does a monkey flip that Shelton lands out of, and then he hits a motherfucker of a super kick. Spade goes like, woo! It's crazy. And then Sylvester breaks it up. Shelton, he gets back body drop, but he flips out of that too, and he hits the code breaker. Oh! And then Shelton is sent outside the ring, but oh my god! Oh, who's that on the top rope? It's Brock Lesnar! Oh, shooting star press once!
It's gotta be the first one. And I was like, ball game! But no, apparently Johnny Spade just immediately fucking breaks up that pin.
Johnny breaks it up, and then like Johnny gets put down, and then from out of the shots, Shelton apparently does a 450.
Yeah. Imagine if you had two cameramen. They would almost certainly catch the 450 between them. And you know what? I thought, Shelton's 450 is, impressive, but objectively less impressive than Brock's star press.
Yeah.
So why did they do it in that fucking order?
Yeah, it's very interesting. The 450 wins, and I fucking loved this match. It was great.
It was pretty good. I liked it. It was, I think what separated it from twisty to non-twisty territory is that I just couldn't get into the team of Spade and Skraper. Doing the waza, which I guess they did because it's they're like, hey, you'll know this one, to a crowd that was not particularly vocal at that point, but yeah.
And then, in between every match, Jim Cornette, who, so Dean Hill is not even the co-commentator here. He's just the ring announcer at the arena show. So it's just Jim. He's doing the Joey style things. Just play-by-play and color at the same time.
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't make much difference because he doesn't let Dean Hill get a fucking word in anyway.
It's true. And then, in addition, they also throw back to him at the studio between each match. Oh my god! Hello, Dad. Sure.
I think I'll be saying to the mint ones. I know I've tried the Spanish ones. Drop out half that to half that.
Okay. Right. Take that. And we take that.
Okay. Right. Great.
I have just got Mentos.
Mentos?
Yeah, you fuck with Mentos.
Are they like the chewy ones?
Yes.
Right.
Chewy draggies.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Is it like mint flavour? Or?
No, they're like exotic flavours.
Like the fruit ones. Yeah, they're pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. But you can't get them in New Orleans.
Yeah, maybe. It sounds kind of American. I'll look next time I'm in a shop.
Yeah, but enough about Mentos. Let's talk about Mentos, like the toes of Randy Orton, who is on the stepping into superstardom.
Let's talk about Randy Orton's toes. The tone of this podcast has taken a very sudden turn. So what would you like to do with Randy Orton's toes?
Oh, dear me. So it's Randy Orton. Randy Orton and his toes versus Slick Robbie D.
Oh, I bet Slick Robbie D's got some slick ass toes.
Oh my. So we don't even get entrances for this one. It just comes right to it.
Yeah.
When we were seeing excerpts from these arena shows on TV. We're sort of knowing like, oh, this is clips and it was kind of shit. I was kind of assuming it was gonna be like different when you actually watch the actual show, but no, it's also just the same.
Nah.
So yeah, there's that. And like they start quite nicely with a, it's like a clean break, but it's a scuffling one, so they're both kind of pissed off after it. And
Yeah, very slick.
Robbie D, like he complains of tight grabbing to the rookie ref Donna, and he in fact is like he like motions to his own tights and pulls them up, like he grabbed my tights, and then also it like grabs her tights like that. And then she's like, no, oh, you don't do that to me, motherfucker. I'll kill you. So that's a nice wee spot. So Randy Orton, around this time, he's got the basics down, but he doesn't appear to know what to do with his hands between moves. Like, he like does a drop kick, and he gets up, and he like throws his hands up like, ugh!
There's like, there's a bit, it might have actually been on the Go Home TV or whatever. But for the whole thing, I was like, why is Randy Orton a massive job boy? And then I saw him, like, throw this punch, and then he's, like, stumbling. He's like, whoa! Maybe that's why he's a massive job boy. He's it's not natural to him yet.
Yeah.
Which is it's crazy to see, because he's like Mr. Composed in our main roster.
Yeah. I mean, like, he is contemporaries of Rip Rogers here, so this is where he learns how to be a darn worker, I guess.
Sure.
And how to perceive Rip Rogers as the best wrestler ever. So Robbie D, they bring up his bona fides here of, like, his, like, education experience in sports and, how high his vertical leap is. And it's quite nicely done where he shows off too much. He tries vertical leaping one too many times because he just loves to jump. And Orton reads it and, wheelbarrows him for his folly, which is nice. Then there's a really slick move where Orton's up top and Robbie jumps up with him and then does a sunset flip down to the ground, which is really nice.
Yeah, it was slick.
Absolutely. The name doesn't lie. And then there's a moment of commentary from Cornetto that fucking feels insane to me. We've suffered through so much commentary recommending that wrestlers hook the leg, right? That's how you pin someone.
Yeah.
Robbie D, he goes to pin Orton and he hooks the leg. And Jim Cornette remarks, that was a lax cover. You need to hook him tighter. Fuck off, man.
Suddenly hooking the leg is not good enough. Yeah, I never got why, people, especially someone in Jim Cornette's position who is, he has a lot of control. He has a lot of sway here. Just save that advice for after the match, maybe.
Yeah.
Just be like, by the way, you might want to start hooking the leg tighter, rather than just fucking burying him in the match for all to hit.
That's what always comes off like. It doesn't come off as like an in-universe like advice thing. It's just like, oh, this wrestler's stupid. Yeah. It's very nice to see these guys work an actual crowd. Robbie D, like, I think that's what really elevated Robbie D from just like someone who I kind of got used to like someone like, yeah, this guy could actually be something, Well, like, just seeing him in this environment where, like, he's playing off the crowd and, like, hot dog in front of him and all that, I would just hope that it's not just the Danny Davis Arena all the time, and then sometimes the big arena show. Like, I'd hope that there would be house shows where, like, they are actually getting to, like, do that sort of stuff, Because that really is, like, what developmental should be there for in an ideal world. And then Robbie does a fucking dive. He dives like
nice
crazy,
dive.
like yeah.
Oh yeah, but
stuff.
Before that, he drop kicks Randy Orton, who goes over the top rope, and Jim Cornette's like, "Oh, he didn't mean to send. That was just his momentum sending him over the top rope." So he won't be DQ'd. This guy's still using over-the-top rope DQs. That's crazy. And that's not come up in the TV at all. But yeah,
no,
that's wild.
You're a fool, Jim. A fool.
I mean, in fairness, he had another match finish available to him, and he didn't do it.
Man, imagine like someone gets thrown over the top rope. Ding, 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 ding. So Robbie tries for another dive off the top rope, but Orton stumbles for a couple minutes before staggering into the rope and then crushing him. Then he goes for his pop-us finish, the superplex, and doesn't get the free. Then he decides to do a T-bone suplex for some reason. And then his finisher, Randy Orton's finisher back then, well, he copied Batista's notes because it's a Colossus.
Yeah, the full Nelson slam. I like the fact that Jim's like, oh, he's going for his move. How do you know? He's never wins.
Yeah. The amount of times that Jim Cornette says, that's his move, is incredible.
But yeah, why is this man who is devoid of slickness beating the slick one himself? I don't know. He's been such an established job boy. I was actually really hoping that he would do it again for Slick Robbie D, who is good. It's not like It's not like he'd be losing to some complete shit bozo. Slick Robbie D is good.
It's really telling you something about presentation because Robbie D has also never won the whatever you've watched. But yet we do not think of him as job boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not to be.
But didn't Randy Orton get pinned by fucking Jason Lee or some shit at some point?
Yeah. His losses were quite a lot more pathetic, I'd say. And at this point, it's brought up. Once again, the head honchos are here from the WF Talent Relations department, and so they've got their eyes on this. And Robbie D, you're fucked now. You didn't beat Randy Orton, so too bad for you. Then we go on swiftly to our UFC rules match.
Yes,
Robert Conway versus Ron Waterman.
My suffering arc. This is when it stopped being fun for me for a little bit.
Oh no! yeah. So I loved the intro to this, where they already play like fast and loose with like the ring announcing. It's not too structured, so it's like Rob Conway comes in, and that's when Dean Hill says what the match is, and he says, "This is a match with." Check this out. Ultimate fighting rules.
Yeah, he can barely believe what he's been asked to read out. He also says that you win either by submission or tapping out.
Oh, he's trying.
Yeah.
So Rob Conway, he takes the mic. And he gives an entreaty to Ronald Waterman. Says, Ronald, you can stay in the back or cupboard and I will beat you up. And so Ron comes out to Eye of the Tiger. He's got a big boo-boo on his arm, but he's still here.
The artist, Ron Waterman, we learn.
Isn't that crazy? I tried looking that up, but I couldn't find anything about it. Yeah, Jim thinks it's a very interesting dichotomy between the two men because, Rob Conway, he has never met a mirror that he did not like. He walks past the mirror and thinks, I like this. Meanwhile, Ron Waterman, he paints art and sells art. But, enough about this strange stuff. What about the grappling itself? Conway, he wrenches the arm, and Jim Cornette identifies him as a thinking man's wrestler. And
but they do not have epic UWFI match. What the fuck?
No, they don't.
It's just it's like Ron Waterman's been told to do like Just exclusively do moves that could never actually be done in real life, please.
Yeah.
Do an inverted atomic drop.
Like, it's a lot worse than like his first match where he sold a lot, because I just don't get why you would have the UFC renown brought up if you're not going to, like there's something to the thing of like, oh, you did this in real sport, but pro wrestling is different. There's like stuff you could rationalize with this to like, oh, why doesn't he just go for a heel hook right away? Oh, because Rob Conway is smart or whatever. But they don't really do that.
No, even if they, want him to, don't want him to stand out too much in the wrestling world with that kind of stuff. He's wearing his MMA shorts. He's wearing his gloves. He has sans knee pads. They fucking called the match UFC rules. So you're making allusions to what brought him success, what brought him here, and then you decide to take none of those qualities that he was able to display in the preliminary fight of UFC 20.
Yeah.
And he can't do any of it here. He just has generic wrestler moveset number 429. It's fucking shit.
Like, what? How is it he can beat Chris Kondo in 25 seconds, but he cannot beat Rob Conway in 25 seconds? Is it because Rob Conway has abs, unlike Chris Kondo? That's not enough.
Yeah. And then...
so, like...
is there actually anything, like, within the match that you want to speak about specifically?
So, Rob is working the arm over. Ron makes a comeback with some gut wrenches. He puts the Boston Crab on Rob Conway, which is sort of when I started thinking, like, okay, this isn't really working, because, like, UFC Phair, I'm going to use a Boston Crab. It just doesn't, it don't make sense at all. And then his comeback is cut off because he decides, I'm going to clothesline the post. My bad arm. And then, I was thinking to myself, I don't know Rob Conway as a submissions wrestler.
No.
So, like...
he places on a rudimentary armbar. And Waterman passes out from the pain. I think that's... like, Cornette has such a wrestling fried brain that he thinks that's inherently better than tapping out. But for this, it just did not work.
No.
One, they've been wrestling like 4 minutes. They shouldn't be that exhausted that you pass out from it, really. He's not losing blood. He's not a great seller, obviously. So, like, what the fuck? Just have him tap, then. Just tap like a bitch.
Like, you hear it in Cornette's voice, because he's immediately screaming, Waterman never tapped out! Waterman never tapped out! He passed out from the pain! Oh my god, I love him!
Oh, he's stupid then. Oh, he let Conway break his arm like a Rio man should.
But yeah, like fucking seeing Rob Conway do the exact same strategy for submission match that like you do in SmackDown vs. Raw, when like you have those submissions, so like the pin button just does generic submissions and it works.
Yes. Exactly. But yeah, Ron Waterman.
UFC fight.
I don't know if we've described what he looks like, but he looks like a fucking shit kicker. He's fucking like, he just did a kill. He's got a skullet for some reason, but it doesn't really matter.
He looks like if the MMA episode of Friends, this is the person who beats up Monica's boyfriend.
Right. But yeah, this might be like the worst presentation of like a big guy or a fucking shit kicker I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's his third match, right? He should just be having a squashy, really.
Yeah. Whatever comeuppance he has against Rob Conway, which I would never watch ever in my life, it can't be, like, justifiable to have done this to him,
No.
I mean, like, you see any, like, dark matches that he has, and he's just murking dudes for, like, 5 minutes. And I don't understand why they have him... Just like we have Rob Conway just go over him like this.
Yeah, it just can't. He just doesn't know how to deal with someone who's different from the rest of the pack. It's an inconvenience to stim Fournette. Also, I looked at the cage match reviews of the show, and user CM Champ says that this was a UFC style match, and it was pretty decent. Have you seen UFC? Have you seen UFC? It doesn't look like that. Ah! He fooled you.
UFC win-loss record.
And then they go back to the TV room, and Flynn is explaining his "Kiss My Ass" concept match. And man, just don't fucking talk to me. I don't want to hear your shit at this point.
Yeah.
But we must move on to fucking this thing. So it's meant to be Chris Michaels, Sean Casey, and Phil Phair against Rip Rogers, Derrick King, and Jason Lee.
That's right.
And wow, can you believe the cowardice of this Phil Phair?
Yeah, like Phil comes out and like he's got casts and slings on, and I like that.
I cannot believe that. What a chicken shit!
I like that Dean gives him like it's like a T Dante's call. He goes Phil Phair. So he said, I slipped on some gravy in Kenny Bolin's locker room. Kenny Bolin's is fat. He was eating chicken. So, oopsie, he's injured. He can't do the match. And here's his replacement, Buddy Landel.
Yeah. Buddy Landel, he's wearing like an orange or peach shell suit. For some fucking reason. Why? I don't know.
Jim immediately calls him a pumpkin.
Yeah. And yeah, the stipulation of this is that Phil Phair will have his face shoved in 3 asses, or the Suicide Blondes will be shaved of their blonde.
Yes, Buddy Landel in his pumpkin outfit. Better make sure Bob Eaton is in attendance.
And this match really feels like the sort of like prototypical Jim Cornette booked match. It's all blonde guys who are not natural blondes, just fucking running around. And I wanted to say, that they were fucking opening the gate, but I felt like that would be harsh on the gate, even as one of the foremost gate haters out there.
Yeah. Sean and Lee start off shades of that one OVW TV match, which I refer to as the grind incident. Chris Michaels, he comes in and they're going back and forth, and then tag into the pumpkin, Buddy Landel, who Buddy Landel is crazy here because he big leagues everyone. He takes no bumps and hosses everyone. It's wonderful, I think. And then Jason Lee does his lethal onto Chris Michaels, broken up by Buddy. Phil Phair jumps up on the apron. Lee has Phair, and then they murk him. Rip Rogers, Derrick King, they all punch him, and then Rip Rogers does the noogie punch. And even though Phil Phair has recused himself from the match, and Buddy Landel is an exceptional replacement, they cover Phair, and the referee counts. So, yeah, they get the win. And Buddy Landel immediately walks away, and Jim Cornette says, he's already got his check, he's out of here. So I guess, he must be burying him on his way out or whatever. And then... Yeah, I was
ecstatic when Phil Phair was pinned, because I have been so thoroughly worked, as they say, by his cowardly antics.
Yes, I agree. I feel you.
And then he has his face put in all the baby faces' butts, including Rip Rogers' apparently unwashed toilet paper packed ass. And let me tell you, it was heaven for me to watch this. Because if you ask me to draw a man who deserves particles of poo on him, then I would draw Phil Phair, the greatest heel of all time.
Hold on, I gotta disagree with you there.
No, you can't.
Because I take issue with how the stipulation was carried out. they spent so much time building up the unique properties of each Suicide Blonde's asshole that I was very disappointed when he just smooshed Phil Phair's face against their trunks. Where's the flesh? Where's the bare ass? I want to see Rev Rogers' dirty asshole on live videotape.
Yeah, and get his toes out too, please. That's what this podcast is about now. Cornhole and toes.
So yeah, I wanted more of that, but you take what you can get. Phil Phair,
Yeah.
kisses the butts, and then it goes to a backstage segment where Sean and Michaels, they are disappointed in front of a toilet where Phil is going because he's vomiting.
And then it cuts back to Squim in the TV room, and he's like, I think Phil Phair would need some extra strength chapstick after that one. Good one, mate. Good one. Top banter, top match. Fucking love OVW.
I don't think you like OVW at this point.
Yeah, I was watching this at like 4:45 a.m. Some shit. But I thought, you know what? I'll do one more match before I go to sleep. And that match will be the midget versus the Gelmet. Last man standing.
Yep.
Damaja
Last man
against Russ McCullough.
Last man standing, OVW style. The ref is outside.
Yeah. And, I was always conscious of, like, being like, oh, I don't want to I don't want to do, like, forced epic rants. I kept giving it I kept giving it a chance. Russ McCullough, he's been funny, but no, sadly, this is pretty shit.
Yeah. Damaja kind of sucks.
Yeah, the crowd seems strangely into him. I don't, as far as like the non-main roster guys go, they seem to dig his vibe more than most. And I think they're strangely into the match as well. I don't know if it's just because they have lots of opportunities to count to 10. So I can do that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But it definitely got the most investment so far in the show.
Yeah, it's interesting. See crowds respond more to wrestling than you do. And you disagree with the crowds. It's always fucked up.
And yeah, it's surely not the actual action that got them into it, because they don't really like do anything with the gimmick other than lie down on the mat for a bit longer.
Yeah, no, there's one bit of like physicality that is out with the normal wrestling match, which is the Gelmet shot.
Yeah,
and it's a bad Gelmet shot too.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all.
No.
When Damaja did the spear or the headbutt whatever on TV, that looked way better. Because you should have just done that rather than bop him in the shoulder slightly.
Yeah, and I didn't like too when so like one of the times that Damaja gets a count on Russ is like he does a Hurricane Rana and then another one, then he does a crappy drop kick, and he's like, count him. I'm like, what? Which is very good.
And while I'm pleased that the Gelmet was a decisive factor because Gelmet and everything, it really didn't look good. Damaja looks like he's about to get up, and then just flops down at 9 in a way so shittily anticlimactic that I just had to laugh.
Yeah, and like the referee is like not doing it in like he does 1 to 9 in like a steady rhythm. He goes 9, 10.
Yeah,
he waits for the flop.
Gives him extra chance to not suck as well. And then Cornetto is like, and Russ McCullough wins, if you can even call that a win. Well, yeah, you can. It was completely legal, and Damaja looked like shit. And you penned that finish. Oaf.
Oaf.
Fucking oaf. It's like, I know that the next match is a hardcore match, but how How about like a table spot or something? You know,
Yeah.
just anything,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, or even just like this big, huge dude who've already seen like fuck people up. He could fuck the Damaja up, maybe, so that he's like not up on his feet 2 seconds after losing. I don't know. I'm just humble suggester to you, Jim Cornette.
Yep. So that was the first 5 matches on the show. I watched, the first 5 one night and then the next 5 today. And yeah, it was a suffering arc at this point. But thankfully, lots more WWF main roster presence in the second half. Made it a lot easier to get through. But we start off with a hardcore match. Flash Flanagan and Trailer Park Trash versus Mr. Black and Rico Constantino. I allowed myself to get my hopes up again, but this time I was all right with it. It was okay for me to do so. They go at a good pace.
Yeah.
Like it just has a rhythm to it that most of the prior stuff did not.
Yeah. Like just like having it's sort of like the Trash versus Flash match, where just like the plunder being there is such a boon to what can otherwise be hard to invest yourself into.
Yeah, I think being a tag made it better than it might have been as well, because it's just like this poor one lone cameraman had to pick the best thing going on at all times when there's usually 2 separate fights going on. But I would say he did a pretty good job of like. It didn't feel like there was like, dead moments in it or anything. Like you'd see like Trailer Park Trash balling a bowling ball into Mr. Black's penis, and then Flash Flanagan would be doing something fun on the outside. Yeah, it had a good flow to it. And thank fuck.
Shades of Onita and Goto versus Carissa and Dragon Master.
Yes, it's exactly as good as that. Yeah, with Flash, you're already able to see what would make him excel in Puerto Rico, and everyone else is hanging too, I would say.
Yeah, I like the door spot here. Trash gets a door, pulls in the rail to make the door a table between there and the apron. He has a stupid thing here, but it's a funny stupid where like he goes to suplex Mr. Black for it, which is already a long shot considering Mr. Black is a fat fuck. But he doesn't even get the arm over his head, so he just tries to like guillotine him over, and then Mr. Black counters it and then punches him, and he falls through the door. Oh, good stuff. And as we mentioned, like the match are clipped, and the screen goes back for a second. You come back, and Trash is being hanged. Yeah,
I'm not sure what the clipping was about. Maybe that's like the moments where the lone cameraman was like, "Oh, what do I look at?" I don't know. But it was also also a bit of it in the Dinsmore match, so I don't know what that was about. Because most of the matches are like complete, unedited.
There's some fucked up Jim commentary here, because he claims that Mr. Black is as good a big guy as Vader.
Wow, Jim. Rim, come on, Rim, Dan.
Yeah, see, you got so indignant at that you forgot to not call him his name.
Yeah, well, you forgot like 4 times. I blame you, really.
Then he.
I would have kept up with it militantly.
And then, like just a short time later, Mr. Black used a frying pan, and Jim says, "Oh, I'm sure he sure knows how to use one, because he eat food." I like the tire use in this match, where like they put a tire on the guy's head and then hit the head with something. It's not really a connected thing, but I appreciate the tire usage.
Yeah, I think Jim's good at. He seems able to, put on these hardcore matches, because they're not going to end in ting ting ting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a nice playbook to play from.
Yeah.
Because I bet like he has in mind like what is it, like, you know, maybe like the Tupelo concession stand brawl or stuff like that, you know, stuff that's like worked and like will absolutely work again, you know, stuff that's eternal. So like one of the big mistakes is that Rico urges Black up top to do his big splash, but then Trash intercepts, and then from there Rico gets in at the ring and Flash hits his move, the whiplash. That's his move. And then he wins. So yeah, after, you know, like Flash has a bit of an arc of losing a lot, and this year is his redemption. You know, he didn't get to have revenge on BJ Payne, but he did get to pin Mr. Black.
Yeah, good on him.
We're happy for Flash.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the Battle of the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Have you ever heard like either of them like talk about their time in OVW? I'm not sure I have.
I don't think so. No.
No, it's just.
I'm sure Big Show probably has.
The whole thing just feels like wrestlers court fucking naughty step bullshit, doesn't it? They're so beneath it, especially the Big Show. Big Show with so many honors to his name already as well.
Yeah, already. Yeah, the guy who debuted against Hulk Hogan. And to defeat him, you know?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it feels like a sort of purposeful thing to like then demote him to OVW. Like, you can't have a guy be like a big get during the Monday Night Wars and then like you'd be like, oh, actually, could you go down to fucking Louisville, you know?
Yeah. Because it's not like they did that with a huge amount of people, like sending them back. I think Bull Buchanan goes there. And they send the Spirit Squad back. And that's like all I can think of. And Mark Henry and the Big Show is so much better than those guys.
Yeah. And like, yeah, you think about like something like the Spirit Squad. Like, when you think about like Dolph Ziggler, him being Nicky is a fucking fun fact. You know?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that they like went back and forth for OVW. Didn't stick. Big Show stuck. He was a famous TV star.
Yeah.
You sent him to Louisville.
Yeah, definitely.
And so this year is the first time that you really get reminded of the postponement of Christmas Chaos, because this is January 31st. Big Show's already returned at the Rumble.
Right, yeah.
This is like
Mark Henry's managed by this guy Thurston Throckmorton, whose only deal seems to be that he dresses and talks like Macho Man Randy Savage. And I could not begin to tell you what the point of this is. Like, what? I don't know. Maybe if you're... He's not bad at it, no. But just like, what is the point? You know, maybe if you're deep into your OVW lore, you could be like, well, actually, I've never heard of it. But...
yeah.
I don't know, it just kind of seems...
superfluous.
Yes.
I like Mark Henry coming out here because he does good heel work here, where he goes up to a shower of fans who are outstretching their hands for a high five, and he like kind of like waves his hand like, no, not you guys, you come here, bro, I'll give you a high five. No. Which was nice. And then you know, something happened which I think we both acknowledge is, you know, like something which shows that Jim Cornette still got it. He has Big Show come out to his Mac 10 theme.
Yeah, WWF aggression. I fucking love that theme so much. Why they ever stopped using it, I don't know. I mean, the normal Big Show theme is a pretty good tune as well, but...
No, yeah.
I imagine the different vibes among the fans in like 2015 when he comes out to challenge Roman Reigns, but it's
yeah. Oh yeah. So like, you know, Big Show, he's now wearing his signature 2001 look of like wrist tape and knee pads, and that's when we realized like, Wait a minute. He's already a 2001 show. Wait a minute. He's on the main roster. You don't have to be here anymore.
He should have just got in the ring and be like, I quit OVW.
Well.
But he doesn't. Instead, he does snappy drop toe hold.
Yeah, he dropped toe holds the Mark Henry. Fucking.
That looked great.
Squashes Mark Henry here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And show looks great, but Mark Henry doesn't really get to show much.
Yeah, no, like show looks like it's one of those beautiful markings where the crowd is on his side for it. So he's just beating the shit out of Mark Henry, and they're like, "Yeah, keep doing it."
It feels like the Fed were like, "Okay, Big Show, we forgive you." Mark Henry still mad at you, sir. Still mad at you. No. You not get Rumble comeback.
Yeah. Fucked up, but you have to enjoy what you can get here. He no sells Mark Henry, fucking, and I was just this was crazy. And then he headbutts the Macho Man, at least a little bit of heat as Mark capitalizes on the distraction. He punts the damaged ribs as Mark Henry, and then the big finish is Bolin. He comes out because Macho is the lawyer for Bolin services, so Bolin's involved. And Macho holds up the briefcase, and Mark hits it instead, and then Showstopper chokeslam for the win. Eat shit, Mark Henry, fuck you. You're not good enough at grappling, I guess. So, I was all ready for that to be like a great match there. Especially because it's his last regular match in OVW. He comes back for one thing, but then that's it. He's on WWF TV now. It should be all. Oh, Mark gets the heat back and beats him up. Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, I still don't really know what the point of the car angle was. It didn't really... I think it's just like Jim Cornette like penciling in heat will occur here. The heat. Just imagine the heat.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that you were hit with car. You'd be like, grr.
Tony Khan, you are a goddamn piece of shit nipple baby. Why can't you do angles like this?
But yeah, this crowd is here. Let's not beat around the fucking bushes. They're here to see the WWF stars.
And this is a WWF star right here. They know the Big Show.
Yeah.
He made it into WrestleMania.
So their name value already brings that heat that the car angle really didn't contribute to in any way. But, it was funny at least. So can't get mad about it, really.
It was just a cover-up for the pure disaster that is Shelton Benjamin. So now we go on to more WWF stars. We love the WWF. Everyone, I want you to chant, "Thank you, Vince."
Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Vince.
We love it. We love TKO Holdings Incorporated. It's Team Extreme of Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Lita versus Disciples of Sin, Pain, Damien, and Sin. Pain comes out. He cuts a promo, and he says, "I'm sure all you rednecks are here to see the Hardy Boys." And the rednecks go, "Ah!"
Yeah, it's like a boy band concert just started.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, it's
you don't get reactions like this anymore. It's crazy.
No. And they do go bonkers for the Hardys coming out.
It's just funny it made me think like, yeah, all these people have been there the whole time. But you'd have never known that during Rob Conway versus Ron Waterman.
Yeah. I love the way Dean Hill announces Lita, because I don't think he actually ends up saying her name. He goes, "Former World's Ladies Women's Champion."
Yeah, as a ring announcer, he's actually quite awkward, isn't he?
He's beautiful. Shut up.
I think future WWF champion there.
Matt starts off with Damien. Damien, the man who hears voices, he's very disturbed, you know. Matt's response to this schizophrenia with a discus punch and then a running neckbreaker drop. Two wonderful moves to do.
Yeah, the voices are like, do the discus punch now.
Oh man, imagine like struggling with schizophrenia and you're told like call a wrestling match.
I hear voices in my head. They tell me to do the second rope DDT. They talk to me.
So Payne tags in to Merck, and then Sin tags in to slap Matt Hardy. How can she slap? But then the second time round, she slaps Payne accidentally, and Matt rolls her up because this is not mixed tag rules.
Yeah,
just another combatant. The women here. Then the crowd want Lita bad. Lita's like the most popular person ever. Holy shit!
I swear they care about her more than Stone Cold on this show.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
You always think of like Jeff as the breakout single star from Team Extreme, but now these fans are going Lita.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think about, like, you know, like later on with the Edge stuff, like she becomes such a like pariah compared to like this when like it didn't seem like it was just the Goyles. It seemed like the guys were with her too, you know, in a serious way.
But then Jeff Hardy peels his shirt off and goes, oh!
Yeah.
They love it.
Puff of the night for his big man boobs. Yeah, we love it. I guess perhaps.
Yeah, that I might try to pitch change that in post.
So then,
but yeah, what an incredible team these guys are.
Truly, yeah, and it's good we get a reminder like this of you know, just how good they are. Especially because, like, you know, this is such like a house showy type of affair, you know, like this is just them at their average power, and they're still really good. So this point where Jim Cornette refers to his own wife as an evil bitch, who should
get that evil bitch, punish her.
She should get what's coming to her, you know. Then there's a bunch of heat on Jeff. There's good storytelling here because we've become accustomed to Payne's crash and burn painkiller being the utmost finisher in OVW. Like, you get hit by this, it's over for you. But it gets reversed here. So Matt hot tags in. He does the you know, gotta love that.
Yeah.
Sin tags in, misses an elbow, and then that sets up Lita to tag in. She's gonna get her hands on Sin, but then Payne fucking destroys her with a lariat. Oh my god. Then Sin tries a slam, then tries for a dive, but then Lita deadly drives her off there. Spear into punches and a Russian leg sweep. Then Lita does the moonsault, which she's really good at. Then it's broken up. And then the Dastardly Disciples of Sin, they have evil machinations here. Fucking Payne does a sky high to Lita, and they pull out a table. And oh no, I think I see BJ Payne go up top. He's going to do his shitty frog splash that sucks, and I hate it. His frog splash is stupid. He lands legs first. I don't want to see it. Thankfully, though, the Hardy Boys come in. And Matt comes in and he goes like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, BJ Payne's frog splash actually kind of reminded me of his namesake, Bull Payne. Remember, he did a really wonky frog splash, but it was a lot more endearing when he did it. Because
that's true.
Even in like 2002, he was like 40 or whatever.
Yeah. So they set up Sin to get Swanton through the table, and they pin Sin to win. And it's fucked up because, like, there's this nickname for Flash that Cornette has, where, like, he always just calls him the man who loves to steal the show, Flash. And then this match happens, and Jim is like, "Oh, they have absolutely stolen the show." Like, oh, you mean they stole it from Flash, who loves to steal the show? Oh, what bitches! I hate them now.
Yeah, this is a very twisty match, though.
Yeah, I would say so.
Just getting to see,
tape 2, please.
Insert tape 2. Time for tape 2. Insert it, please. There's a little bit of a wait, and I'm like, are they going to insert it or what? Okay, thanks for inserting. I will now play.
Imagine if it just ended there.
Yeah, we would have just had to have called it there, I guess. But no, thankfully, we got the match where Dim War Vet pressed the technical masterclass button on TEW. It's the OVW Heavyweight Championship match. The reigning champion Nick Dinsmore defends against the Crippler Chris Benoit.
The Canadian Crippler Chris Benoit. Benoit comes out. He gets the mic. He says, "Nick Dinsmore, so you think you were the best? Well, it's one thing to say you're the best. It's another thing to believe you're the best. After tonight, you will believe in Chris Benoit. You will believe I'm the best tentacle wrestler in the world." And so on.
It's so awesome how far he made it while being a completely dog shit promo. Can you think of anyone else who's that shit at promos who like won a top level belt in WWE?
Man, it's hard to say.
And like shit from an objective sense. Like I hate like Seth Rollins' promos, but some people say he like cooked on the shit. So
yeah. Like the one thing I can think of maybe, and like, you know, obviously like it's not like the proper top title. I think by the time he gets to the top title, like he's like gotten further. But like Bobby Lashley getting the ECW title when his promos were like, "You're a bastard."
Yeah, and I guess like that.
That's the only thing I think of.
Maybe there's like Jack Swagger as well, who technically that's the same lineage as Benoit, but it feels like a different belt because it was completely demoted by then, wasn't it?
It's true, but you're breaking 12-year-old Connor's heart here by saying that Jack Swagger as the world champion was a bad promo.
Hey, I mean, early 2010s, not my period. I bow to your superior
and then
knowledge of it.
After me, it's the swaggy. It tastes of freedom.
Are you keenly awaiting his evidence that Tony Khan is a communist?
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, Jack, get it.
Yeah, like, oh man, I hope Jack Swagger comes back to WWE so that like fucking, he can post like that and Ariel Helwani can be like, "Oh, looking forward to this evidence coming out." So yeah, Benoit's here, and Nick Dinsmore also here. Jim Cornette is smoking crack because he mortgages his credibility for Nick Dinsmore. He says, I have had a long managing career, and I'll tell you something. Any champion I have managed at this stage in their career, Nick is better than any of them.
No.
Come on. Better than Stan Lane? Come on.
He just loves him so much. When he latches onto a guy, he just fucking throats that motherfucker.
God, I should have looked to see if there's like epic rants about how they made him Eugene.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah. So this match starts with a lot of jockeying for position, the sort of stuff you'd expect, like the move animation of catch wrestling,
Yes.
The first thing that really stuck out to me was like I wrote it as a wrist clutch, which I guess it kind of is, but it's also not like the grip of a suplex. It's like Benoit clutches the wrist and just like snaps him down, and that's when it's like, oh, okay, it's the grappling, right?
Yeah.
And then they go into a surfboard struggle, which is one of the great spots ever. You know, like when you do the thing where like you turn it round, but then the momentum turns back around. That's classic stuff.
Yeah. Also, did you notice that the Crim is saying that if Dinsmore wins, he'll win a spot on the Monday Night Raw roster this week? Oh, shit.
Yes. Guaranteed. They never said that in the build-up. That feels important to not say.
Yeah, he's just like tacked that on for some reason.
Yeah, Jim says Dinsmore wants this victory more than life itself.
Okay. He's like, I really want to be a dead Raw wrestler. I want Raw to start, and it says R.I.P. Nick Dinsmore, 1972 to 2001.
R.I.P. Nick Dinsmore. He worked here. Nick Dinsmore is cooking a bit, but Benoit cuts him off with an inverted suplex onto the ropes. But hold on now. Jim notes that they're not ropes, they're steel cables. He may have died.
Wow, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Oh, look at that. Oh, technically faultless stuff that I looked at there. It's got to be said that after the Hardys match, this one settled right the fuck down the crowd.
Yeah.
I think it's because, like, obviously they're there to see the WWF superstars, but this one has the heel as the superstar, and so when Dinsmore's doing all his comebacks and shit, they're just not biting. They're not bothered. They don't know him.
Yeah. Like
they're like, does this guy have special needs?
Jim really tries to get over that, like, this is a hometown crowd, and it's getting to Benoit.
No,
but
I mean,
no.
On a technicality alone,
the structure, like, is basically that Benoit will murk him again and again, and Nick will get like a pin off, a surprise pin. But that's it. He doesn't really get much more than that.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see if, like, the Al Snow match has, like... Because people don't really give a shit about Al Snow by 2000.
Yeah.
If that works better. Obviously not interested enough to, like, go watch it in unclipped form. But,
Yeah.
Chris Benoit, a much bigger star. It feels like... I might have even heard a few boos for Dinsmore when it comes out.
Wow. Yeah. Even though he still works as a substitute teacher at the local high school. Wow. It's
almost as if this information has not reached this entire crowd of 5,000.
So it's a Benoit.
On the poster it just says, the crippler, Chris Benoit versus teacher, like him please.
For your local neighborhood Dinsmore. So Benoit, like, Jim tries to get across the idea that, like, these surprise pins are like flustering Benoit because he keeps getting caught by them, and I don't know about that. And then Benoit, he does what I can only describe as like anteater stomps, where like he measures him by putting his arms out to look as large as possible, and then wow, Then Eugene, like, he intercepts the diving headbutt, does a superplex, and then he does this stupid fucking punch flurry where he's trying to be like The Rock, strangely, except instead of like spitting in the hand, he does the to his bicep, and I don't like it.
No.
But he gets off the missile drop kick, and he gets the German suplex. He's got him hooked. Oh my god, Rico.
Yeah, the deadly single German suplex. Much better than Chris Benoit's free, a transitional move. It feels like, for the build to that, you're just like, should we, like, establish a new finisher for Dinsmore? Because that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Like, he even does pull out the crossface, and he never does it again after that one match where he did it to Robbie D.
So, yeah. So, Dinsmore wins via DQ. I expect to see him on Monday Night Raw this week.
Yeah. He may have beaten Benoit. We don't know what it'd be like if Rico didn't come in. So, But, oh, damn it. If he beat him via pinfall submission, I guess, he would have been on the WWF roster right now. But Rico ruined it. What's he doing? Fuck.
Damn, we could have seen Dinsmore versus Steven Richards.
Albert. So Benoit, he looks at Rico and he's like, "What the hell you do that for? Ponzi." So, earlier in the night, Rico was asked by Bolin, "What's it going to take for you to join Bolin Services?" And Rico was like, "Fix it, so I get the OVW title." So I guess this was building off of that. But yeah, sad for Eugene. He leaves with title, but no honor.
And then his IQ suddenly began rapidly decreasing.
Oh no! so now it's on to bigger and brighter things, like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, Stone Cold, and here's a good old JR coming out to introduce him, and he's like, "Hello, ladies."
He asked Louisville, "Are you ready for some slobber knocker?" And he says,
"Yes.
I've had some good barbecue. She's a pretty good woman."
I love when I slobby on the barbecue while looking on women. Looking on them.
He says, "I've listened to some country music. Had a beer of Stone Cold."
Yeah, huge reaction from Austin, of course. He comes out. Did you like JR with the hard line of questioning here? When he's like, "Do you like Mr. McMahon?"
See, I fucking loved that so much because it felt, this all felt so innocent, like, oh, we have such a special present for Louisville. We're going to give him the Stone Cold experience. So, like, he goes like, "Now, we're among friends here. 5,000 friends. Tell us, what do you really think of Mr. McMahon?"
People in the crowd like, oh my fucking god, I hope he says he sucks. Oh, say he sucks now.
Yeah.
If he says he's a cool guy, I'll kill myself.
Austin is like, "Well, hell, if I have to answer that, I need a Stevizer." Then Dino throws him a beer. Something I loved as well is that Austin comes out to like his usual theme, "Not Disturbed."
Yeah.
And like it's played at like a semitone above usual, it feels like. And with the compression of the video, it reminds me of did you ever have like the Titantron playset they made back in the day?
I might have. A friend definitely did, for sure.
Like that was like made in conjunction with like the Jax figures, where like the bottoms of their shoes had like little magnetic things. And so, like, you'd rub Stone Cold thing on the amp, and it goes like... It made me of that.
Yeah. Do you know if they, like, died in the same way as, like the soft toys with the voice boxes? I used to have this, I used to have this, like, soft toy of Shrek that you, like, squeeze him and he says a line from the movie Shrek. But by the end, he was like... So I wonder if it functions the same way with the with the wrestling figures.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be the same way. Yeah, like I remember I had like
oh no, my Shrek is dying.
Yeah. I remember like I had like a trash talking stage one, which like also had magnetic strip, but it wasn't for his theme song. It was for trash talking, presumably.
Yeah.
I think I just stopped working, honestly.
Yeah.
So before he gets to McMahon, so JR brings out Austin under the pretense like, I think this man will be the next WWF champion at WrestleMania in Texas. And so he brings out Austin with this in mind, and he says, I think I already know the answer to this. But do you have any doubt in your mind that you will kick someone's ass at WrestleMania? And Austin's like, well, you know, Jim, I was having some second thoughts about it. I think I'll be vacating my Royal Rumble win and retiring.
Yeah, I love JR's baby questions. Do you like food?
Yeah. Yeah, Austin says he's been sitting at home eating enchiladas for you.
Have you ever been to the pictures?
Yeah, and then like I went into the cage match, right? And I got spoiled on Rico coming out here. So I was like, oh, okay, Rico's gonna interrupt. But no. In fact, GR goes, now, what about this Rico Constantino? You heard about this guy?
You seen this? You heard about this?
And like he's like, is Rico still here? Where's he at? Get Rico out here. And you know, he's like, oh, Rico, if you got something to say, why don't you say it to Stone Cold's face? And Rico is like, hey, Austin.
Yeah. Hey. You rang. Yeah, it's Rico, the man who's been calling out Stone Cold for weeks. Who is Jolmet?
Rico, he says, hey, I'm an American Gladiator champion, and look me in my eyes when I'm talking to you. And Austin, he says, if you think this son bitch is a jackass, give me a hell yeah. And they're like, oh! this is the one time in their goddamn lives these Kentucky rednecks can do this. So they're going to enjoy it.
And then Rico says he's going to kick his hiney.
He's a role model. Doesn't swear.
Oh, snap. He said hiney.
Austin, he says, I'm in a good mood, so I will not kick your ass. But then Rico pushes it. And then Austin gives him the stunner. Wow. Pisses on him with beer.
I really liked all that when the stunner happens, all the flashing lights of the cameras trying to catch it. That's good.
Yeah. Nice segment.
Yeah, it's fun. Fucked up that Kenny Bolin didn't get one, though. He was out there begging for one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's just kind of, like, running around after that.
I think I'm so used to the current nostalgia segments where everyone gets one. Because I remember in the Capital Carnage, I was like, why he not stun Earl Hebner? why Earl Hebner get to drink beer with him? Stun him.
Stun Vinnie Jones, please. But yeah, I'm glad I learned about Stone Cold and his merchandising phenomenon and his capturing of the zeitgeist before I watched this. Otherwise, I'd have no clue what's going on.
Yeah. Who is this man? He wants me to say hell yeah? Why should I?
Why should I? So now it's time for the main event, Kingdom vs. Survivor. But wait, it's psych, bitch. It's special music videos.
Yeah, first we get the video package set to the Hate Club theme.
Yes.
Swim, Gore, Sweat, bleeds black and yellow confirmed.
He loves Godsmack. And some nice B-roll we've not seen before of Batista in like vampire makeup with like eye bags and stuff. And then the second one is
they're like, that was a nice video package. Let's show a similar one, but with Unholy by Kiss.
Unholy by Kiss.
And that's the one that already aired on the TV a bunch. So it was like, oh, this feels superfluous.
Yes, Jim says this is about the rivalry between the Big Red Machine and the Demon of the Deep, Leviathan. But they have no rivalry because they've never interacted before. So it's just them both doing moves independent of each other.
Yeah. And then, the OVW do the XPW TV trope of using the entire 4-minute rock song for your video package. It's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. Like, there's like about 24 minutes left in the video, like, after Stone Cold.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, are they going long? But no, they dwindle that time right down.
Yeah. So then they go to the ring where it's a shot of the crowd and you can hear Dean Hill saying, "I love this crowd." He says it's the record for the largest non-pay-per-view crowd in the Louisville Gardens since December 1976. Wow.
Wow. And you know,
It's been so good.
something that pissed me off is that when Leviathan comes out, Sin is with him, and she says that every bone in her body hurts, and the crowd are like, "Yeah, you got murked, bitch." And then she says, "And I love it," and everyone's like, "Oh,
Stupid."
buzzkill that you're into that shit. Just fucking sell." God,
Yeah.
we need a real textbook pro wrestling bad guy like Phil Phair.
Yeah, he would go, "Every part of my mouth is ass, and I hate it."
I am going to throw up from the poo.
And then Kane comes out with like what seems to be like a fully black mask, which like is a crazy look for Kane. I think. Are you partial to his like his tank top era, like the wee bit of the nipple play going on there?
Was he not in the like usual gear? I didn't really notice it.
Yeah.
Might have been the video quality.
No, yeah, this was his gear. Like he starts wearing this before SummerSlam 2000.
Oh, okay.
Like yeah, and then it goes down until 02. It's a nice wee outfit, but it does kind of like, yeah, you know, you think about the Kane outfit and it's like, oh, he is covered head to toe because of his burns. Except now he has this tank top which shows off his great body that is unblemished.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean now.
Yeah. So no pyro.
No.
Disappointed in you. Chore threats.
You could have just got some explosives. Just throw a petrol bomb, do anything, man.
You could have got some explosives stood in the path of them.
Yeah, the bell, you know, I don't know when the music package started. It was like with like maybe 25 minutes remaining.
Yeah.
The bell rings with 8 minutes remaining. They do aura stare down for a bit, and then they trade shots. It's all right. They do some big guy shit. It's fine. You know, it's actually fine that they sell normally because they're a similar stature.
Yeah, and I think Batista does well to like, you know, he's not too shaken by the first punch, and then he walloped Kane, and Kane was like, "Whoa," you know, kind of establishes him as a threat. He also eliminates Kane from the Royal Rumble, no doubt bringing painful memories of his failure some days earlier.
What?
So,
and you're telling me he did not get DQ'd? Wow.
Yeah, that's right. He should have been. He should have been, but wasn't.
Yeah, it's almost like that rule is more trouble than it's worth. Because it's really hard to be consistent about it in 2001.
Yeah. So when they come back in, Kane, I rate that he does the running DDT of his bro, The Undertaker. And that reminded me of Have you ever seen the Instagram page about Taker Kane memes?
I don't think so.
Like the thing I think about, I'm sending to you right now. This is a picture of Undertaker and Kane staring off, and it's captioned Taker saying, "Kane, did you steal my last slice of pizza?" And Kane says, "What pizza, Big B? I even don't know about I even don't know about this damn thing." And you also have stuff like The Fiend Bray Wyatt saying, "I'm the most scariest superstar that ever existed in WWE," and then Kane Undertaker saying, "Bitch, please." or how about Kane, arrive, stare, chokeslam, leave, and Undertaker says, "That's my brother." And then one last one I saw. This will be like a real hit if you're nostalgic for Dr. Phil. It's "I don't like Brothers of Destruction because they're so overrated. How about that?" And Chris Jericho says, "You know what? You're a stupid idiot, and you just made the list. Brothers of Destruction approve."
Wow.
So that's what I was thinking
That's
about
the
when I
most-
was watching this match.
That's the most mid-2010s thing I've ever seen.
Then, like, at some point in this match, Kane does a Kane line standing up. It's very odd. He, like, does his exact same motion except without the further gravity. So he goes for a tombstone. Ref bump. Oh no. Chokeslam. Tries for the pin. No ref. Here's Sin now. She whips Kane. And then he tries to kill her, but then the disciples come in here, setting up Batista to spear him, which I think was cool. And who is it that saves Kane from this peril? The Hardys and his future wife, Lita.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. As well as his future husband, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, lots of run-ins and stuff. Stone Cold gets the stunner. And then Batista, only sells it for like 20, 30 seconds. Starts getting up and Jim's like, "Oh my fucking god! Can you believe this motherfucker?"
Yeah, I can't believe it, Jim, because he needs to get up to do the chokeslam.
Yeah. And that's the finish, and that's the show.
That's the show. Yeah.
Be sure to catch the next OVW special event, OVW X-rated uncensored. I'm sure there'll be some extreme adult filth on that. I hope Mr. Black gets his pecker out.
Only if you go to Coyotes is Randy we're going to get the toes out for you.
Yeah. They're also promoting a show called My Bloody Valentine. That's literally an XPW show name, bro. They share so much more in common than they'd ever like to admit.
Rob Black, if you are hard up for money due to your terrible lifestyle, I suggest suing Jim Cornette.
Yeah. So, verdict. Christmas is ruined!
Oh, man.
Fuck your holiday period.
The match is a mess! It's a mess!
Fuck your holiday. I hope it's shit. I hope the presidents all burn.
Yeah, that's right. It's Christmas in 2024, and you're going to spend... You have spent it listening to this, which is like Christmas of mediocre proportions. So, yeah. Take away with that what you will. Christmas season is here. Why don't you do yourself a favor? Listen to John Hall's album of Christmas standard covers. That's a nice little thing. And she said she was in WWE at the time of recording, so it fucking everyone has to be wrestling with you, man. What the fuck? Why can't you just be normal? Anyway, listen to John Hall's album.
You've ruined the day. Yeah, I remember when we were streaming the TV, you mentioned that OVW very much feels like a brim toilet containment zone away from the main roster. And I think that's pretty like spot on. They're like, you can do what you want with these guys. We'll look in periodically at their tapes. We're not actually going to send you any like equipment to improve your production or anything.
Yeah, like Jim Ross will come in as like the more sympathetic of us in this boardroom, but like Johnny Ace will just like take Doug Basham and just like shave his head because he wants to,
Yeah, but so sometimes maybe Dafed was right. The Basham should be being whipped by Shaniqua instead of doing anything of particular substance.
Yeah, Fed knows best.
I think I remember like hearing a clip where Jim was like answering a question whether it bothers him that WWE owns all the like Smoky Mountain and this stuff, but never like put it up on the network for like to be actually accessible. And I felt that he sounded like surprisingly ambivalent on the topic, and I think it's because he knows that he sucks. He knows that his finishes are crap, and he could not book the big man. I mean, I don't know. Have you seen much Smoky Mountain? We haven't really touched on it at all.
I was about to say I've got a lot of like goodwill towards Smoky Mountain because I watched it was the Heavenly Bodies versus what's the name of Jericho and Lance Storm together? What are they called again?
Oh fuck, I can't remember.
It was them anyway.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a really good match. I also remember Kintaro Kanemura getting murked by Kevin Sullivan. Was this Smoky Mountain thing? I'm sure.
Oh right.
So there's some stuff there, and plus like the gangsters,
Yeah, that stuff is good.
So I think there's enough there. I am open to the possibility that like some trends are observable there as they are here. Yeah.
Maybe one day we have a little peek. But for now, I need a long period of no gym, no stim, no Pim.
Yes, I think it's time for us to put a cap on old Pim with a visit to the grapplometer.
Grapplometer for sticks too. Ding 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 ding.
Cornetto, stim cornet, rims cornet, swim or sweat, limb or fret, Jim chore wet, trim for debt, hem learn pet, grim toilet, grim boy set, dim for fit, slim chore threat, skim poor head. Oh, and with the ritual done, the grapplometer has summoned the number 0.
Oh no! Folks, that is the lowest score the grapplometer has ever come up with. I didn't even know it went down to 0.
I like the show too. Like, you can't argue with it,
Yeah. I guess normal service is resumed. The holidays are over. Get back to fucking work, you slob. And for my next pick, oh shit! I wanted to prepare a video. Hold on.
Oh.
YouTube, you better have this. Okay.
I'm going to click this now and close my eyes and press play if it goes without opening them. Here we go.
In my yearning, I slept.
Oh.
And in my sleeping, dreamt.
Sleep.
And in my dream, I beheld a spectacular vision. mighty and bold, superhuman power from a distant beyond. And when I awoke, I realized my dream wasn't a dream. He's coming. Mighty and bold.
Wow.
Triton is coming to TNA in TNA Destination X 2005.
Whoa, sick.
Yeah. TNA. Yeah.
Let's go.
We're going to get to watch some Impact. Hopefully we'll find some fucking Explosion as well. I don't know how freely available it all is, but we'll have a look-see.
Absolutely have a wee scroungy around. Yeah, that sounded like the British invasion theme that was playing at the end there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they will have this Jimmy Hart just has a pool of stuff that you can go back to.
Oh man, this is incredible. TNA
Yeah, I think this is going to be Destination X, not a particularly acclaimed TNA pay-per-view, but I don't think that's going to matter too much.
Yeah, we dip our toes into it. I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah,
we're gonna ring in the new year with something that will soon be 20 years old. Imagine that.
Fucking
TNA
hell.
20 years old. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where time flies. Wow.
So yeah, that's what's coming next. Follow us on whatever you do, whether you're on Twitter these days or the Blue Sky. Made a Blue Sky. I made a fucking TikTok, and we actually get decent engagement from it.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to check in on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
just hope
every time I post a short, it gets a decent amount of views and likes. So that's good. More consistent than YouTube. I don't know if people are then following up and clicking and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a very non-human vibe to TikTok. There's definitely a few bots. I don't know. But yeah, I don't understand it. I'm 32, so I'm not actually browsing that shit. I'm just posting.
Yeah. I was thinking just recently, I remember watching AEW and hearing Excalibur be like, Tony, you spend all day on TikTok, and I was like, how? You're 50. How have you adopted this? Which is crazy, but it seems like the denizens of TikTok are a lot better than those ingrates over at YouTube who shit on me for making an honest mistake with workout equipment. God damn it.
Yeah. You have been exposed as a beta dweeb. If you try to go to the gym, they will say, no, I saw what happened on the YouTube.
Look, between 2016 and 2018, I paid £20 a year for my local gym license. I've used the leg extension before, man. Shut the hell up.
But yeah, we're doing lots of stuff on Twitch. I think since our last episode, we started the OGP Sims Big Brother House. We have had 2 deaths in that so far. Still waiting on 6 others to die. And Undertaker Revenge Mode. He's been murking a lot of construction workers like fools. And
more deaths to come.
And more deaths to come in both. And hopefully more deaths in TEW as well. Fuckest Upper Scrapply is the worst promotion to ever have $999 million.
Yeah, you recorded a profit of $1 million from your show.
Yeah, the show is main evented by Jim Neidhart versus the UK Undertaker. So yeah, we'll have a pay-per-view coming up next. Hopefully we'll get to that next time we stream. And yeah, you can watch all this stuff on the YouTube. I think it's very funny. I'm proud of it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Get on that shit and have a nice loaf of Christmassy bread. And a happy new year as well. Why not? Fuck it. Wanker.
Yeah, cunt.
You fucking cunt!
I'm a man who don't complain about the weather or the rain. I find it makes no difference anyway. Now I have but one regret that I haven't mentioned yet. It's all about the bread we get today. I can get myself a nice lobster or a nice broad apron crab. When I'm a little bit hungry, a nice little herring I've had. I can get myself a nice mushroom to go along with eggs in bed. I can get myself a nice mother, but I can't get a nice loaf of bread. No more you can't.